Okay, we got Ryan Donovan in here, and we got Sydnee Newman. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. So Ryan, what do you do? What's your main thing right now?
So my main thing right now is actually health insurance. So something a little random and not on the screen.
And how has the big pharma thing affected you? With that like the deal that Trump made with big pharma, has that affected the health insurance industry at all?
Not really, because basically with health insurance, if anything, it cut back a lot of the costs on drugs, so people can get more affordable drugs. That's really it. He dropped the cost on drugs tremendously. So if anything, it helps everyone involved to save money.
So a person that's in the health insurance industry, is that's good for you?
What do you mean?
Like it benefits you that he went up against big pharma, or
I don't think it really affected
nothing
it at
really
all.
changed.
Nothing really changed. Yeah, I mean, insurance is insurance. It's there if you need it. You know, it's totally like the drugs. It's on a person by person basis with prescriptions. Everyone has different needs, different things that they want covered. So.
And what's your main thing, Sydnee?
My main thing is that I'm a personal trainer.
Yeah,
okay. I like to say that I'm a movement specialist because what I do is not your traditional personal training. I've got a kettlebell strength certification. I've got a yoga certification. So I like to focus on really specific things so I can customize what my client really needs.
Yeah, you're scary.
Thank you. I take that as a compliment.
So you can do you can do yoga.
Yes.
Right, you have that. And then what's the other thing?
Kettlebell.
And what is kettlebell?
So a kettlebell is, it kind of looks like a cowbell with a handle. It's just this big metal weight, for lack of better words, that people utilize for strength and mobility. You can do so much with it, and you can do it anywhere. It actually started in Russia way back in the day, just using to weigh down bags of food. And then bodybuilders got into lifting them, and how many of these things can we lift overhead? And that has developed into this wave that we now commonly know as kettlebell training. And it's so cool because it's dynamic. You can use one, you can use two, you can use it lightweight, heavyweight, for kind of any goals that you have, and anybody can pick one up anywhere and use it safely if they're trained properly.
And a kettlebell is the one that you hold on, right? It's like a hand grip. Is that?
Yeah. So a kettlebell, yeah, you can see it on the screen. It's got a big round bell with a flat bottom and a handle that you hang on to.
And what would you say is the benefit, like with that, over like a dumbbell?
Different things. I mean, totally different. I use dumbbells in my training still, but because of the handle, it's more dynamic. You can do things with it. You can do cool things like juggle with it, but you can also snatch with it. I mean, just the skills are so different and the weight levels are so different. It's a lot more dynamic than a dumbbell, but you can do similar exercises just in a different kind of way, getting different kinds of muscles.
So like with the COVID thing happening, you can just get those and do them at your house.
Yeah, I mean, kettlebells sold out so fast. People who had never used kettlebells before, they're stuck at home and they're like, how can I work out on my own before Zoom was as major as it was? And they sold out so quickly, and then people were reselling them for astronomical amount because they are so usable anywhere. And they range from like, you can get them 5 pounds all the way to 200 plus pounds per bell.
You can get a 200-pound kettlebell?
Yep.
Yeah. Tell them what you were doing for your members at the gym when COVID first happened.
When COVID first happened, we obviously were closed. All the gyms had to close. And so
Ridiculous.
we loaned out our bells because we would run virtual workouts, and we posted workouts on our social media pages and demos and stuff. So we'd loan out bells and make everybody sign for it just so they could still do their workouts with us at home. Thanks, Ryan.
Well, she told me the story. I thought it was pretty cool because that's nice. I mean, how many gyms do you go to that actually loan out equipment?
Yeah, there was a gym in I think it was in Jersey, and they stayed open, and they fined them $15,000. Was it? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know this one, but the same thing happened in Miami. People were arrested and shut down, and masks and
wait to hear this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fined them. It kept increasing.
Mhm.
So it was like 1,500 a day because he was like, I'm not closing. I'm staying open. What was it called?
Atlas Gym, I believe.
In Jersey, right?
Yeah, Atlas Gym in Jersey.
Oh, I've actually trained there before.
Yeah, he basically said F you, and he
That's a badass gym,
stayed
though.
open.
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard it's a beast. They fined him 1.4 million.
Wow.
He's got like a GoFundMe thing.
Mhm.
You
Is
know,
that the one that he kept getting fined over and over
yeah,
and
yeah.
over? Yeah.
And he was just like,
That's terrible. You know, that's the hard part because we get that people were trying to not let it spread, so they closed the gyms, but like gyms help people stay healthy mentally and physically. So to remove that was really difficult. Really difficult.
well, I mean, it keeps you healthy, right?
Mhm.
I mean, so now, but then what the crazy thing was, they're closing gyms, but then you can go to eat. You put your mask down to eat,
Hmm.
but you can't go to a gym.
Nope.
That is going to help you. I mean, get the fuck out of here.
At least here, I think they opened the gyms back up before the restaurants, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it well, what do you think about that?
Well, I was actually going to bring up, remember the CDC walked back everything they said about it staying on surfaces for long periods of time?
Yeah.
So basically, that was the whole fear originally going into the gym. Obviously, at the beginning, no one knew anything about the virus, but they thought, oh, it could sit on the weights, it could sit on the dumbbells for like ever, and people can go touch it, touch their face, get the virus. And then they found out it doesn't actually stay on surfaces for long at all. There was what was the number? Do you remember? Like 6 seconds or something super small?
Yeah, I saw it too, and it's like the molecule is so small
Mhm.
that mask shit doesn't do anything. If you're
yeah,
gonna-
certain kind of masks work, some don't, but people, you know,
Yeah.
put your nose in your mask. Like if your nose is out, what's the point anyway?
Yeah.
That's
Or they
a
all wear
whole
those,
different
those
story.
disposable surgical masks where basically like with the mask, it's made to protect doctors' blood splatter on their face, not like you were talking about the molecules, not the anything being projected out. So all those little like 50-pack disposable masks people are buying don't really do anything. It's just like optics, basically to make you feel like you're safer.
like to get in the door, basically, right?
Yeah. So cloth masks or like KN95s, those are the ones that are actually proven to work because
Yeah.
they let the molecule that's smaller, or it's not COVID-sized molecules. I don't remember. I'm not a COVID expert.
Yeah. No, the COVID molecule it's so small that, and I was saying this last night, which is kind of funny. You know, any type of molecule is a cell. It's a cell at the end of the day. So when this sounds messed up. Women don't fart in my head. Okay.
Of course not.
Okay, so I mean, but when you fart, it's a cell that comes out. I mean, it is, and the molecule in COVID is smaller than when you fart.
Yeah.
So when you wear these little cloth masks, if you're around it, you're getting it.
So I'm still trying to figure out how the hell you compared a COVID molecule to a fart molecule. Like, what possessed you to Google fart molecules?
Well, I actually looked at it. I actually looked at it under a microscope.
You looked at a fart molecule under a microscope.
Yeah. I told you I was nuts. I'm not quite right in the head. If you haven't
That's
noticed
amazing.
within the 20 minutes that we've been hanging out, but you know, I'm a little bit goofy. But yeah, I mean,
Teach his own.
Aren't we all?
yeah. If you're not, then you're boring,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
You know. So okay, so you're doing, and where are you doing that at?
Kaizen Fitness Systems in Jupiter. We're looking to expand soon, but right now we're a boutique gym up there, and it's pretty awesome up there.
Are you guys wide open now?
Yeah, we're open. I mean, we're a small boutique gym in the first place, so we always cap classes. It's really important to us that everybody gets individualized attention, so we've always capped it. We're just now adding social distancing, and we've always cleaned things, but now we're cleaning things in front of people so they feel comfortable. You know, a lot of this whole COVID thing is there's so much that we don't know about it, so you've got to feel comfortable. And honestly, I think closing the gyms was more because of the big Globo gyms, and you don't know who's coming in and out. So the smaller gyms got hit, even though we've always been doing things basically the way we're doing them now.
So
So,
right
yeah.
now, if I go to that gym, you have a distancing thing that you have to do, or
Yeah,
or
so
you
we
have
just
to wear a
cap
mask?
classes based on we cap classes based on the size. So everybody knows to separate, and when it's a kettlebell class, they keep their kettlebells. Everybody cleans their bell at the end of the workout. So you're in charge of cleaning it. We've got an alcohol cleaning solution. We clean the floor. We're actually on AstroTurf and we work out with no shoes. I can get into why we do that later if you want. It's super cool. But yeah, so we clean the floor after everybody in between every class and personal training, and we keep the doors open for open ventilation. We don't believe in wearing masks while working out because there's a lot of cardio involved and it's not healthy or safe. And so those who
how
have...
the hell can you breathe through a mask when you're doing cardio?
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You're going to pass out.
You can't breathe when you go to a grocery store, you know what I mean?
Especially
Yeah.
if the mask is like actually thick enough to stop COVID like we were talking about.
Yeah, you can't breathe through
So-
that thing.
Nope.
Yeah, in our classes, we don't wear them. For personal training, we keep social distance, but any clients that want the trainers to wear them, we do. If we've got pregnant clients, which we do, I always wear a mask with my pregnant clients, just in case. You know, there's so much that we don't know, so it's better to be safe. And like Ryan said, some of it is the optics. As long as people feel comfortable, we want them to feel comfortable and know that we're doing the right thing.
And why do you do it barefooted or on turf? Do you know why?
Yeah, do you know
No,
why,
you-
Ryan?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let Ryan tell us.
I don't know. My trainer didn't tell me.
Well,
so,
maybe you didn't ask.
If you had a guess, why do you think?
Probably so you don't mess up the turf
What? No.
with your shoes. I don't know.
That's the worst answer.
Let's hear it.
So, yeah, all right. So we work out with no shoes to build the muscles in the feet, right? You have an arch in your foot. A lot of people are born flat-footed these days. And then doctors or social media tells people,
Schmucks.
oh,
Schmucks.
I'm
I
not
s-
going to say anything
Okay.
one way or the other.
Okay, me and Ryan will say
I
schmucks.
plead
and Ryan
the
says
fifth,
that's it.
you
They're
know?
schmucks.
Doctors don't know
I
shit
don't
about
like
nutrition either,
to-
so I agree. Because
Yeah.
every time, that's the main thing we were going to talk about was nutrition, but doctors don't know anything. They don't prescribe nutrition. They prescribe drugs, which is why I was hesitant to get into the drug talk.
And they
because-
get a kick.
and they get kickbacks. Yeah, that's a whole different industry, but we can't even talk about that because I can't.
Yeah, understandable.
Licensings and things like that.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I
So-
get where you're coming from. I have issues with doctors that prescribe surgery before taking all precautions. We deal with a lot of people pre-surgery, so they don't have to go through surgery. So I get it. I'm just not going to call anybody schmuck.
I called him a schmuck. so.
Perfect.
We got you.
Anyway, you know,
got one
utilize
guy
your
that could
feet.
probably kill somebody with his pinky, and then you get another guy over here named Tammy. So I mean,
There
what
you
do
go.
want?
That's right.
Go
We're all
ahead.
friends here.
Yeah, but yeah, tell me though.
Yeah, so people don't utilize their feet like they did when shoes and high arches didn't exist. So we've actually worked with a lot of clients who came in flat-footed, and they're still flat-footed, but they've developed an arch because they're using the muscles in their feet now when they didn't before. So we encourage people to not wear shoes as much as possible. And when you use kettlebells, there's a lot of grounding that has to happen. You have to grip from the ground up. So when you can utilize your feet outside of a shoe, there's so much more power that comes from that. I mean, I could nerd out for days, but that's the basics of it.
That is actually interesting though,
That
because
is, yeah, kind of.
I didn't even know you had muscles in your feet.
What?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like you do, obviously, but
Right.
like I never thought of a way to work out your feet.
So keep going. You're not nerding out.
Yeah, I mean, so there's
you know
something
that?
called the barefoot movement that's becoming a movement. You know, you can look into zero shoes with like nearly zero sole, or like barefoot-esque shoes that you have to train yourself, your feet, to get used to them. But there's a whole running barefoot movement so people can utilize their feet. And when you're gripping properly with your feet, then your ankle mobility tends to get better. And it goes on and up. I am so much more grounded as a human than when I started. I started as a CrossFitter and more as a yogi before I got into this barefoot kettlebell training. And
When you say zero, what do you mean zero?
there's like zero, there's zero lift in the sole. So a lot of our shoes, there's a slight heel or there's a platform to some degree. And with a lot of these shoes, there's zero platform. So you're having to force your foot to work. You're using your arch, you're using the other muscles in your feet.
Wow. Did you know
It's super cool.
No, I did not know that. See, that's actually part of the reason why I thought she'd be a great guest.
that? Yeah, yeah.
Is
no.
because
Thanks,
she
Ryan.
actually deals with a lot of the individuals. So it's kind of two sides of like the nutrition and fitness industry. I like to refer to it as the nutrition industry because that's mostly what I focused on. Hers is a little more fitness, but I haven't dealt with actual like the end users of the products in probably like 8 years since I worked at GNC back when I was like 22 years old. So I don't
I
really
did
see
too.
the people that actually
It's funny.
take the products, right? I sell to the store owners, to the bodybuilding.coms, the GNCs, et cetera. And I deal with those store managers and those employees that they talk to the actual owners. So we can all get on the same subject. I'll get the insurance plug out of the way first, since
Go
she
ahead.
did her Kaizen thing, right? So if you want me to look at your health insurance, we offer options other than Obamacare that actually have really great plans. And that's pretty much all I can say, because there's a lot of laws and regulations and
Are you private health insurance, Ryan?
private health insurance. Yep.
All right. Maybe explain to people
but-
the
Yeah, yeah,
difference, because
yeah.
a lot of people don't know. Sorry for jumping in.
No,
So-
no, I was just going to say the
Super
exact
helpful.
same thing. Sorry, Ryan. It's just,
No, you're good. Private
I
health
don't even know what
insurance.
the fuck it is.
Private health insurance you can get year round. You don't have to wait for an open enrollment period. You can do it any time of the year, whether you lose your job, whether you switch jobs, whether your job coverage is not good. Sometimes a lot of people will notice that their job does not cover their spouses and their kids, meaning like the employer will pay typically a portion of the employee's coverage, but they won't pay for the spouse or the kid. So you can shop for your spouse. You don't all have to be on the same plan. So like I can give you an example, right? I actually had a friend that I did a policy for that he got about $300 less per month. So a lot of people that this would be good for is healthy people, entrepreneurs, people that don't have pre-existing conditions, right? Because entrepreneurs can actually write the health insurance off on their taxes. So if you own a business, you can write off your health insurance. That's going to help pay for some of your health insurance over the course of the year. But I have a friend, and we can't say names because obviously HIPAA, but he saved money for him and his kids. He was using a previous healthcare provider, paying about $1,200 a month.
Wow.
I got him a policy for $836 a month with better coverage and lower deductibles.
So now, like, I had Humana, and I basically told them to go fuck themselves.
Mhm.
So now, can I come to you as a private insurance? What is it, like a broker, like a private insurance broker type of thing?
So I work for the sales division of United, right? So we're owned by United.
United Healthcare.
Mhm.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So, but we kind of will just give people advice, right, on insurance and help them pick the proper plan, basically. So whatever fits their needs. Everyone's got different needs, so it's really like an advisor role, right? Which is kind of interesting because you don't realize how confusing the healthcare industry is.
It's ridiculous.
It
I just
is.
went through all this for
It's
myself.
crazy, man.
Ugh. the worst.
I had
Mhm.
I had Humana, and these dirty motherfuckers. I mean, I didn't realize how it worked, and it looks all good on paper, but your deductible is ridiculous.
You
Yeah.
have to read everything.
Yeah,
and
I'm not
like,
good at reading.
And everyone
Yeah,
wants to
it's
save
tough.
money on insurance until they get a huge hospital bill. And then they're like, oh, I should have gone for the plan that was slightly more, but I wouldn't have paid any of this. So
But now, if Sydney and I come to you to get with your private insurance
as I drink my whiskey.
as you drink whiskey, would that be like? Is there is it deductible the same as if I went to United publicly? I
It
guess
depends.
you would say, right?
So let me put it this way. We could look at all the plans, right?
Yeah.
So, but it depends on what you pick, but typically we have lower deductibles and everything because our plans you actually have to apply for them. So if you can get denied, and if you get denied, then you have to go with something else, but it's really good coverage. So
So
that's
when
kind of all I can say about the coverage.
okay.
It's very limited. Trust
Yeah,
me.
I
There's a lot
understand.
of laws. And
I know that HIPAA shit. I worked
Yeah.
at Hershey Medical Center up in Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
This HIPAA shit. Oh shit! You say one wrong thing,
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
You really
It-
got to be
your ass
careful.
sued.
it is not just it's like sued all the way to the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, and the main reason being is because everyone's situation is different, right? Like I could
Yeah.
tell you something that's like a hypothetical, and
Mhm.
I guess I could probably throw the word hypothetically in front of it and talk about it, but
Don't do that.
you really, everyone's situation is different. Like that's why I just gave a generic example, like my friend, but it doesn't hurt to shop around is all I can really tell you, because if worst case scenario, even if you're not really shopping for insurance, you might get lower rates, you might get better coverage, right? So, and maybe you burn 10 minutes of time with me on the phone, because if you already have a really good plan, great. If we can't do anything better, phenomenal. But if you don't have a good plan, then maybe we can do something better for you, or save you money, or both. Who
But
knows?
they always put that bullshit in the fine print that nobody can understand.
Yeah, well, that's my job, is to go through the fine print,
Yeah.
explain it to
Wouldn't you agree
people.
with that?
He's the guy that says it's so fast that you can't even understand him.
That's not true. I spend
I'm
a lot of time on the
kidding.
phone with my customers.
No, I read it. I'm like, what the hell is this? I don't even know. Okay, it
Yeah.
looks good. Fucking sign. I don't want to deal with it.
Well, people need to know how to use it too. So like
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it applies, where
Yeah.
certain coverages apply. And that's why all the conversations are so much more detailed. We can kind of be a little bit vague here, but when we actually talk about it, it's in depth and it's just one-on-one.
So what makes somebody get approved and not approved?
That depends, because like with our plans, it's all up to your health. It's not doesn't have anything to do with your income or anything like that. But it's just up to your health.
So
That's it.
I would need to get a physical, send it to you.
No, just medical history. They have all that. Like Obamacare, for example, those are all guaranteed issue plans, which means it doesn't matter if you have a pre-existing condition. But if you go private insurance, they have to know, whether or not you have a prior existing condition or not.
So I just went through something similar. I don't know if Ryan's allowed to say this or not, but I can share my experience.
Yeah.
They walk you through a whole questionnaire over the phone.
That's exactly what we do.
So it's like a 20 to 50 question. You have to confirm if you had any of these illnesses
Like
or
an interrogation,
disease.
maybe?
Yeah. In the last 5 or 10 years, if
Yeah.
you smoke, whatever, what your, parents' history is to a certain degree. And then one of these that I walk through, I don't know if it's the same for your company, but sometimes your agent will walk you through all these things and be like, oh, okay, I can know that you qualify, so let's continue the conversation. But once I sign you up, then this person from corporate is going to call you and ask you all the same questions to actually confirm that you're saying the right things.
I feel like you've talked to someone at my company before.
I may have.
Is that what you guys do?
Yeah. So, you have to verify everything. Then the second call that she's talking about is kind of like it's on a recorded line. So that way they can certify that everything's true, and then they make their decision from there. So.
And then they give you a rate at that point? Is that what you
No, that's all
get,
done
right?
beforehand.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
All
not
that stuff
beforehand.
is just if you get that's to actually get approved for whatever rate you looked at.
Oh,
So,
really?
so it's pretty simple. You just see if you can get approved. And that's the funny thing about my job is like so many people treat it like it's, like a sales thing or like, oh, I don't want to sign up for that sometimes. And it's like, dude, I'm just here to help you. Like worst case scenario, and most of these people don't understand insurance anyways. And it's like worst case scenario, we're just here to help. Like we want people to feel confident about their coverage. If anything ever happens to them, that's the whole point of having insurance, is to know that if something happens, my insurance is there to have my back.
Yeah, it's a CYA, really, right? You're
What's
hoping
the CYA?
cover your ass.
Oh,
He needs to learn some of
Sydney
these.
just taught me a new one.
I mean, right? It's like it's a just in case. So we're all super healthy. So these plans, they want to guarantee that you're healthy. So most likely something's not going to happen. But if something catastrophic happens, then they're there and that's what you're paying them for. But I mean, like Ryan said earlier, you're your only advocate. So get a second opinion, ask 5 million questions. He's just there to help you. And he wants to make sure that you're set up properly, just like you are, really.
Yeah.
So if I call you, am I going to be on the phone forever with a bunch of bullshit? Or do you make
That's
it
entirely up to you, because you could say, hey, get to the straight of it, or get to the point, or,
Yeah.
explain the details. It's totally up to you. Everyone's different.
I think, just my opinion, you're in this industry, but I think a lot of people just want to call and say, look, I need insurance.
Mhm.
I don't want to be here on the phone for an hour. This is what the situation is. What's it going to cost me? And what's my deductible?
Mhm.
How long would that take me if I called you?
30 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
That's like getting straight to the point.
Yeah.
Prior to the questionnaire.
I just need your zip code, date of birth, and that's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would highly recommend you give me that link to contact you about that, because you get on with these insurance companies.
Sometimes they talk
and
your ear off.
These people, Jesus,
Well,
they want your fucking DNA.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I wanted to get the plug for that part out of the way, so we didn't talk about it, because that's sales, right? Everything with sales or talking to people, it's all about just building that rapport and establishing relationships, not, over talking people that don't want to be over talked, right? Like if I'm talking to you, whether I'm trying to sell you something or talk about your insurance, I'm here to help you and let you guide the conversation, not talk for a million minutes and barely get any input from you. You know?
Well, that's why you'd be successful.
Because when you have conversations with
Or
people,
you are successful. You know what I mean? Because that's what they do. When you talk to these guys, they don't even, how was it when you called?
So, I mean, I've had a couple experiences. I've had the ones you're saying, and I've had the ones Ryan's saying. I would prefer them to be straight up like Ryan is and let me ask the questions, because I'm a good reader. If you send me the info, then I have further questions. perfect, but I don't want you to talk my ear off and tell me all this stuff that I don't need to know. You
You're
know,
a beast. This is where you can kill it.
Well, because you're there to serve people, right? Every time, whether you're doing insurance, whether you're doing nutrition, whether you're doing fitness, whether you're doing, I mean, these are all things that I have experience in, but, you're there to serve people. And if you approach every sales opportunity or every advising opportunity or every business opportunity from like, hey, I want to deliver more value, then one, people are going to refer you, right? Whether I'm selling to a supplement store, an individual, whatever, they're going to be like, hey, this person took care of me. You end up getting more business that way because they literally are giving you free, advertising by sharing how great their experiences was with you. Word of mouth, best way to advertise.
See, I don't look at it as a plug. I look at it as educational. You know what I mean? Because
Well, no, I meant plug because we actually were intending on going a little different route with the fitness stuff instead of insurance. So that's why I was like, plug the insurance, get that out of the way.
No, but I wanted to ask you about it anyway. But I mean, it's educational because, you get on the phone with these schmucks and, you're just on the phone for 2 hours and it's just like, look, here's the records. Here's my date of birth. Here's my social security number. What is the fucking deductible? How much do I got to pay before you fucking pay? It's that simple.
Yeah.
To me.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people like that, but they're just used to listening to it.
Yeah.
I always thought that Highmark was the best, but somebody bought them out, didn't they?
Excuse me. I think that was Blue Cross that bought them. I'm not sure. But
What do you have, Rob?
I just got new insurance. I don't even know the name of the company. That's amazing, right?
solid.
see, call me tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm calling.
Well,
I cancel the shit.
the thing I always laugh at is,
Fuckers.
are you a smoker? Does anyone who's a smoker really put yes? I mean, I guess if you're a terrible smoker, do you drink alcohol?
He's got to be careful.
Do you drink
Let me put it
alcohol?
this way.
Oh,
It is
yes.
100% self-declared.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's up to you, and that's all I can
If
say.
something happens, so let's just pretend. Let's just pretend, and I don't. Maybe you can't answer this. If I say I'm a non-smoker, okay,
Mhm.
and for some reason my lungs are as black as coal, and I get admitted to the hospital, and they look and they say, "Well, you said you were a non-smoker. Clearly, sir, you've been smoking for years. What happens to me? Can anything happen to me?"
Good question.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Okay.
Ask Sydney.
Ask Google. I bet Google would know. I do not know the answer to that, but it's a good question.
You can call me tomorrow, though, and I can help you.
Got it.
Call him on his private line.
You're gonna give.
Call me on my
You're gonna be
private
getting 2
line.
calls tomorrow. One from me and one from Rob, and maybe one from Sydney.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, but I mean, in all realness, it's an interesting industry. It's interesting to learn, and it's something that I've always struggled my whole life because I always want to go into something that I'm passionate about, and I didn't even think I was gonna care about insurance. And I started working there, and boom, I'm like, I've learned so much in a short period of time.
You'd be a
And-
shit salesperson if you didn't actually care, though.
Well, there is shit salespeople out there. That's what a lot of people have to watch out for because there's people out there that are literally just out there for a check.
Yeah.
And if you think long term with sales, like there's supplement stores that I have such good relationships with that I can call them up and I can say, hey, I'm with a new brand. Bring it in. I don't have to pitch them
That's awesome.
because I took care of them for
They trust
years,
you.
right? And they trust me. And they know I wouldn't sell them shit. And I tell them straight up, which products are good, which products are bad. If I have a product that's from my own line and it doesn't taste good, I'm like, that flavor's not the best, but maybe bring in a couple units. So I tell them things like that, and they end up ordering more because they'll bring in other stuff. Or when I have new items that they don't know about or that they're a little on the fence about, they'll bring it in if I want them to.
And what's your line
Which line?
of supplements?
Well, I don't have any now, but you're talking about the past lines?
Yeah.
Like I've worked for, so my most recent company was a company called Alpha Lion, which is a smaller brand. And then before that was Bang Energy. Before that was a brand called Isatory, which is owned by a company called Fit Life Brands. And then before that was Cellucor.
Yeah, I saw Bang Energy. You know the drinks?
I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you like them?
I'm all right with them. The guys that I work with love them. Maybe have a couple a day.
They should drink Rays.
He drinks them.
See, this we can talk shit about.
It takes me like 3 days to drink one, or I would be like having a seizure on the floor.
See, I don't like it. You're not with them anymore?
No.
Otherwise, I'd tell you I like it.
Nope.
No, I wouldn't. I'd tell you right
Yeah,
there.
you told me
I don't
about
like it.
Rays.
You'll get to know me real quick. I'm just like you. I'll tell you the way it is.
Yeah.
I don't like it because there's creatine in it. I fucking hate creatine.
All right. So, fun fact.
All right, let's
There we
go.
go.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So, supplement labels should be ordered in order of abundance, right? Meaning first to
Yes.
last. So you notice the first, I think it's like carbonated or regular water, right? So if you go down the list, the creatine is actually listed after the sodium. And the sodium's 40 milligrams. We know that because the FDA requires that to be on the top part of the label, right? So the creatine is less than 40 milligrams.
But let me ask you something. At the bottom of that drink,
Mhm.
it says these statements have not been approved by the FDA.
Nothing is approved by the FDA. The
So
FDA
then
doesn't
how
approve
can you
anything.
say that though?
What do you mean?
Well, you just said that because the label says 40 milligrams of sodium,
Mhm.
that there's only 40 milligrams of sodium.
Well, that means there's less than 40 milligrams of creatine, because what I was going to say was creatine's listed after the sodium on the ingredients list.
But that has not been approved by the FDA. So how do you know that?
Because then if you don't know that, if that proves to be inaccurate, then they're lying on their labels and they can get sued and shut down. Or not shut down. Bank's probably so big they can get out of a lawsuit, but a lot of companies would go out of business for something like that because they would lose too much money.
Do you know how many companies have gone out of business because of that and sued and they just beat it?
I know companies that have ended up having to be sold, like Muscle Milk was sold to Hormel Foods because they had a
Yeah.
pending lawsuit.
Yeah, I
So
remember that
same
one.
thing, lying on their labels.
Yeah.
So you don't lie on your labels, because even though it might not directly hurt somebody, when you buy protein or when you buy anything, you're buying it because you read the label and you're assuming that what you're purchasing is in that product, and it's not.
See, I don't like it because I don't trust it.
I
The
just don't really like the
FDA.
taste, to be
First off,
honest.
do you fly?
People are gonna kill me for saying that.
Saying what?
That I don't like the taste.
Let me tell you something, and this is not to get super political right now, but the FAA certifies airplanes.
Who's FAA?
Federal Aviation Administration, right? They certify airplanes. Well, did you see the Boeing 737s falling out of the sky last year?
Yeah, I did.
That was certified by the government. You really want an FDA approval on your supplements?
No, but
Exactly.
Nah, good point. Good point.
Secondly-
he just beat me, and I. He
Secondly,
just beat me.
the government is
Not
politicians.
that this fucking guy couldn't beat me anyway, but
The government's politicians. They're typically not, they usually will outsource help to learn about a subject, right? If they need to. But they're not experts. They're not engineers. They're not, typically like nutritionists or someone with a background like myself or Sydnee's, right? Where they actually know everything that they're talking about. So the nutrition industry gets a black eye all the time because little things will happen and it'll blow up all over the media that one bad case happened. Well, the government doesn't even look at supplements, but they will take things off the market, and they'll take it off the market just out of fear, right? So they'll do it because it looks like they're being like the big bad wolf, and a lot of companies get a bad rap because the government will say that something's bad or say that something's banned, and then people become afraid when they shouldn't be.
who just got shut down? There was a company that just got shut down. They were on bodybuilding.com. They just got clocked because of what EAS was doing. Their protein powder was, like you go to Walmart and you buy cake mix.
Mhm.
That's what their protein powder was.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
a lot of companies will do that. They'll put
And you get big, you get huge because shit. I mean,
cake?
you know,
you gain weight. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, fuck, and then you mix that with the sugar and the creatine.
Not the huge you want.
Yeah,
Right.
not the huge
So-
that you want. You
Yeah.
get this,
Yeah.
and you get like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why you have to go with reputable companies. You have to go with companies that you trust. You can't just go buy any supplement on the market. And Walmart and all these big box retailers are probably the worst place to buy supplements.
Yeah, Walmart just got clocked for they had what's the bottle of vitamins? It's green and yellow on it.
Green and yellow, that's a terrible color combination. Who
yeah,
the hell does marketing like that?
Well, they did it. They did it. But
disgusting.
Walmart got clocked. They got a 90-day cease and desist letter. Would have been nice if I would have got that one, but I didn't. And they just gave them 90 days to take it off the shelves, and because what they were doing was they were selling vitamin C. It was vitamin C.
Mhm.
They clocked them on vitamin C. They clocked them on the B complex.
Mhm.
Yeah, they clocked them on those two.
I didn't hear that.
It
Well,
looks like
of course
it's
you didn't hear that.
called Spring Valley is the name of
Spring Valley.
So the supplement industry, and it's funny you bring that up, I'm not hearing about it, right? They tend to sweep everything under the rug the best they can. Are you actually on Google right now?
Yeah, well, I can go back on
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
So Google some lawsuits. Google Muscle Tech lawsuit, ProSups lawsuit, and Muscle Farm lawsuit.
Muscle Tech got
Muscle
sued.
Tech lawsuit.
Did they? I
Yeah.
don't know.
So you'll see most of the lawsuits come up. It's usually lying on the labels, amino spiking, things like that.
Says-
Are you familiar?
Says Muscle Tech class action says supplement doesn't promote muscle growth.
Yeah. So basically, what they do is they don't put the ingredients on there that they claim are in the product. or let me phrase that, or they'll do a lot of referencing studies. Muscle Tech was notorious for this. They would do a lot of posting studies, gained 7.7 pounds of mass in, and they put it right on the label. Like in
Can't
13.
guarantee shit like that.
Yeah.
So
I was with them.
specific.
Yeah.
I worked at GNC too.
Yeah. So you
And-
remember these tubs I'm talking about.
You would have, Sydney, you would have a tub, and you could get like the regular creatine that was plain. And then you would get the creatine that was like mixed with a bunch of sugar and everything else. And so remember, what was it called? Cytobol?
Cytobol. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the carb, right? I think it was the carb stuff.
You would mix, if you took Cytobol with creatine, you'd blow up. Like you didn't even need anything else. You'd be a balloon. But it was all water weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Cytobol? And at GNC, they were pushing that shit like crazy.
Well, so I don't want to put GNC on blast, but I guess they're going bankrupt anyways. So, so GNC used to get paid spiffs for everything they sold, which is also something I don't really agree with. I don't agree with commissioning specific items and not commissioning other things. If you're going to pay commission to somebody, pay it across the board. And the reason why I say that is because everyone's goals are different. Kind of like we talked about, like we barely were able to really talk about the health stuff, but this we can talk about because it's not regulated. Is everyone's got different goals, different needs, different aspirations. You want to address those needs. If you have like a modicum of a conscience, right? Like just a little bit, you should want that person to reach that goal, right? So when you sell them a product, let's just say a GNC employee, most of these employees don't know any better, right? They're reading the product, looking at the label, assuming that's actually in there, right? And then they're selling it. And then when GNC puts commissions on only certain items and not the whole store, right? Then you're like, well, I get paid to sell 2 or 3 brands, right? So if I paid you $7 an hour and like $5 a unit on something, but it was only 2 or 3 brands I paid you on, what would you push? The 2 or 3 brands you got paid on because you're getting paid dick money. And that's the only like way you're going to make your rent check, especially living in fucking Florida.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And I worked like he did at the GNC. My mom made me. She's like, you have to get a job. So, okay, I'll get a fucking job. All right, whatever. So I'm in there, and remember the little computer with the green lines?
Mhm.
Or no, orange line. It was orange.
Did they give you any training for these supplements?
so that's old
Hell
school.
no.
Nope.
Hell
No,
no.
Oh.
You just
GNC.
sat there and you knew which one. So when somebody comes in, they say, look, at the time, I don't know, what year did you work? How old are you?
I'm 30. So I worked there from 2008 to 2012.
Okay, I was working there in 97 and 98.
Okay.
You know, and when you were there back then, there was this thing called Exenedrine RFA1.
Oh my God.
It had the Mohang in it and Ultimate Orange. Remember Ultimate Orange?
Ultimate Orange was legit. Hydroxycut had ephedrine.
Ooh.
Pro hormones were legal. Mass tabs still existed.
Ooh.
Remember mass tabs?
Yep.
Oh
I
my
do.
gosh. Mass tabs were literally steroids in a pill.
So when I was there, if I sold Exenedrine RFA1, if I sold Hydroxycut, if I sold the creatine, I didn't get any commission with the plain creatine. But if I sold it with all that sugar, it was a commission. And then it was, what was it? NO2?
NO explode or NO2 from MRI. Yeah.
Yeah, for MRI, yeah.
Mhm.
But then you could sell anything else and you're still at $7.50 an hour. But you sell that, then you get the somebody walks in, you know.
Yeah, why wouldn't you push that?
Well, that's what I'm making money off of.
Yeah.
I'm you're standing there for
Yeah.
8 hours, you know, waiting for somebody to come into the mall to get it. And they say, look, I want to lose weight. What would you recommend? Well, I know that this one's better.
Mhm.
I don't think there's anything better than Exenedrine RFA1. Boy, do I miss that one.
Mm-hmm.
Mohang,
There's been like 20 formulas since then, probably for Xenadrin, and they've been sold, I think, twice. But yeah,
that was a beast, though.
I think Iovate actually owns them now.
Who?
Iovate and Muscle Tech. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
No, it was like it was a fat burn, but you could take it like before the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And Mohang was the best thing. I mean, I loved it.
Mhm.
I loved it. But then baseball players started taking it, football players started taking it, and then they were losing weight,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what they would do was instead of, you know, it says on the label, you know, you take 1, 2 a day. I would take 3 like an idiot. But these guys would take 6 of them and then go out in 200, you know, 120 degrees, you know,
Mhm.
pitching and
Yeah.
football, and then they have a heart attack and boom,
Mhm.
they ban it.
Yeah. So that's exactly what happened in ephedrine's case. A guy went out, had had
Well, yeah,
overheated.
Mohang
playing.
is a veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, he overheated, died, passed out from like heat exhaustion, and then he ended up dying. And then now ephedrine's banned because every time someone dies, besides like actually blaming the person for taking too much or taking it, let's just say even in the wrong scenario. If you know that you feel hot every time you take something, and then next thing you know, you go out on the football field and you go in 110-degree weather and you're running around for 3-4 hours, you probably shouldn't take that type of product.
Yeah.
So first off. Second off, that goes back to the GNC employee education. If I sell someone a product and they tell me they're a football player and they're taking it pre-workout, I'm not selling them a product with a ton of caffeine or something that's not good for them, right? They need to have something that fits that type of workout. Because if they're just lifting weights and they're resting for 3 minutes in between sets, take a pre-workout that's got DMHA, 300 milligrams of caffeine, because they're going to bring their heart rate back down in that rest period. But if they're constantly doing like especially outdoor workouts, they're going to overheat. You don't sell them shit they don't need. College athletes go into a GNC or not even college athletes, any athlete, they shouldn't be buying something that's super high stim if they're going to be outdoors for most of their workout.
Especially with shoulder pads on.
Yeah. Or if they buy it, explain to them when to take this one and when to take that one, you know?
Yep. Same thing happens, Sydney, with this thing called phetamine, which is a terrible drug. It's absolutely, you know what I'm talking about? Fen.
Yeah.
It's absolutely freaking terrible.
I'm such a good kid. I don't know.
But no, I mean,
But it works.
It works. It works. But you cross that line, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was nasty. It was nasty as hell.
Yeah. And then people like workouts like hers or workout like any type of workout that you do that's going to jack up your heart rate, don't take a bunch of stims.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid. Or like anything like that, like phentermine, ephedrine, things like that. I mean,
I go with modafinil. That is my thing.
Yeah.
Provigil. I'll tell you about that when we get off. The
Yeah.
best thing, you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm. I've heard of it. I'm not familiar with it, but I've heard of it.
You ever see the movie Limitless?
Mm-hmm.
It does not affect your heart rate. It's been around since 1956. They used to give it to airplane pilots. It was actually developed. Well, it actually was what do you call it when? What's the name when they develop something and you know like they ban it for like bikers, UFC guys, and all that other stuff?
Just banned.
Yeah,
Use the term banned. It's just banned.
just-
Not illegal, but banned.
It's banned. Like they banned it.
USADA or, committees.
But
different
there's
things
a
that
lot
ban
of
it.
reasons why they banned it. They didn't just ban it because they were saying it was like making you better. The assholes banned it because it didn't just help your mind. Like you can remember things, you can read things way better on it. It gave you energy without raising your heartbeat. Your IQ goes up, proven. You can stay awake, but no like crazy heartbeat or anything like that. But then they also found, well, if you're an alcoholic, it's good for alcoholism. If you're a cocaine addict, it's good for cocaine. If you have ADHD, you can take it. Well, now, at the time, back in the day, you used to be able to get 30 of these things for like $90, right? Now it's $1,200 to get brand name because now they can't give you Adderall, Vyvanse, whatever it may be, and knock your head off. Then you get addicted to Adderall. Then the big pharma says, okay, well, you're addicted to Adderall. Now we're going to give you Xanax to get off of it or Klonopin. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. By the way, did you find the other lawsuits?
No, I can look them up.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you looked up the Muscle
Look
Farm
up
one.
on the
Muscle
the
Farm
Mac-
one was
the
a good
Mac
one
Air.
too. But yeah, all these companies, with them lying on the labels, there's so much corruption in this industry. Like
I
we
met
could
Bill
go.
Phillips. I met him. What a dirty fuck he is. I'm saying it, not you. Now,
Yeah.
now, when you train people, what do you tell them to take?
Well, so that's on a case-by-case basis. It depends on a lot on the individual. I mean, a lot of times they ask me, do I even eat before working out, let alone what kind of pre-workout?
What's your opinion on that, though?
That's hard because some people are insistent on not eating before working
Go to
out.
naturalproductinsider.com. Sorry to interrupt.
That's all right. I personally have to eat beforehand. So I take it on a case-by-case basis. What are your goals? What are you used to doing? Have you worked out before? Are you a regular workouter? Are you looking into intermittent fasting, or are you intermittent fasting? And if you're intermittent fasting, are you making sure your workout is within the last hour of your fast? All of these things. So
What's intermittent fasting? again?
intermittent fasting is when you fast for a certain amount of time per day and eat within a short portion. So the average timeline, this is geared toward males, but it's 8-16. So you're eating all of your meals within 8 hours and you're fasting for 16. And the idea is that it's pushing your body into ketosis. So your body is eating the fat cells and you're burning that fat while you're working out.
Now, I know a lot of people that do it. When they do that, don't they go into hypoglycemia? Yeah, because their sugar gets too low.
So they can, that's why you have to kind of work up to it. And there's a specific way to do it. There are ways to eat coming off your fast. There are certain things that you should eat and shouldn't eat. So it can get pretty intricate. You have to do it the right way. It could totally not work if you don't do it the right way, or it could hurt you if you don't do it the right way. And then other people consider it intermittent fasting and they fast 24 hours, one day a month or one day a quarter, and that seems to reset them. I would murder people if I did that, but to each his own. There's a lot of fads out there, but anybody interested in it, they got to do their research and make sure that it's right for them, their body, their mindset, their activity level, their goals.
So I run on it. I look like a little guy right now, but I'm like ripped. Like I have an 8-pack. Just bragging a little bit.
I thought you were going to do the rest of the show shirtless.
I wouldn't fuck with him or you. You both scare me. But so I wake up and I do 3 miles in the treadmill interval, and then I build a sauna in my house, and I do 30 minutes in the sauna, but I have an infrared one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just like I'm not walking into like 100 gazillion degrees. It's 140. You know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
It's an infrared sauna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it hits all the parts. So like your legs sweat. I didn't even know your fucking legs could sweat, but they sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frio Cryotherapy has one. I've been in one. They're awesome.
Yeah. I got it all on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it in 2017.
Oh, you have your own.
Yeah, I put it in the house.
Okay.
It's a 120 volt.
Yeah,
You just
not
plug it
everybody
in.
can do that. It's pretty fancy.
It's $1,200.
I'm going to his house.
But how do you not
You
know
can
your
come
legs
anytime you
sweat?
want.
Just like how does Ryan not know you got muscles in your feet? Like,
No,
come on, guys.
but see, I'm a lunatic.
Oh.
So I go in there with a sweatshirt on and a sauna suit and everything, and 140. But it's not like you could explain it better than me. But it's not like a 140. Like it's just a bunch of heaters hitting you from every spot.
Sounds awful.
Well, it's awful when you take everything off of you but I like it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, this was a good day. I'm
Yeah.
drenched.
Yeah.
So every toxin gets out of you, and then you're ready to go.
Yeah.
I used to do
Good
it at night, and then I
detox.
couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to do it in the morning. But I have to sit down, because when I get out of that bitch, I'm like a little off.
Yeah, you got to regulate.
Yeah, I got to calm down,
Mhm.
and then I eat.
Yeah.
You
You can't
know.
go in there
Yep.
as long either.
What's that?
You can't go in as long as a normal sauna because it's too
No,
hot.
hell no.
Yeah.
Because like the sauna is like 180 or whatever, and then at a gym, you see these guys go put water on it, and
Yeah.
you're like, you asshole, isn't it hot enough in here already?
Yeah.
And they go and they spray it and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that.
Sometimes they're not though. Like sometimes I go to saunas, especially like LA Fitness. They're never as hot as they should be.
Yeah,
That's why I don't go to LA Fitness anymore. It's because their saunas are terrible.
you're
And
right.
right now they have them closed. So like the
Yeah.
girl was trying to sell me a membership, and I'm like, no, because
Yeah.
your sauna's closed for COVID. When if you actually had it the temperature it needed to be, COVID couldn't even fucking survive in here. So maybe you should turn up the temperature, and you wouldn't even have to worry about COVID.
You know what I had the best sauna, Sydney? Was
I don't know.
remember Gold's Gym when it was actually Gold's Gym? I don't know who bought
Donna
them out.
Ross.
Well, I was in Pennsylvania,
Oh,
so
gotcha.
they were everywhere.
Okay.
And man, you walk in that thing, whew, and it was hot all the time. But then I got weirded out because like 80-year-old guys would come out with
Yeah.
they would come in with their pecker hanging out. And
But by the way,
I've
see
never
if
been
you
into
can
Globo gyms. It's just not my jam.
see if you
What's
can
that?
Google Muscle Farm sued by Arnold.
Muscle Farm sued by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
The big Globo gyms have never been my thing. LA Fitness, Golds. I mean, but I'm not, I'm attracted to different things, right? Yoga, kettlebell training. Like I go there and lift weights, but not my jam.
so now I know what do you have, a certification in yoga
Yeah,
among a gazillion other things?
a couple other things.
So what's the benefit of yoga? I used to
Oh,
see guys doing this.
that's a loaded
I saw
question.
guys doing this.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell are they doing?
I mean, guys can do yoga. Like,
Well, I've seen a lot of guys doing it.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like
Yoga?
yeah, what do you think of yoga, Ryan?
Yeah.
I think that it would probably break me because I cannot move. I'm not that flexible. I mean, jiu-jitsu helps me be a little bit more
this is
flexible,
good.
but I thought about it just to help my jiu-jitsu. But we do stretch a lot when we train.
100%.
So
And what's the benefit of yoga?
There's-
And you teach this, right?
Yeah, there are so many benefits. But first and foremost, I'm going to address what he just said. People always say, oh, I'm not flexible. I can't do yoga. I mean, you're not going to get better if you don't start doing something. But the point of yoga is not to become flexible or to push yourself so deep into this pose where you come out as a pretzel. You know, some people can do that and that's great. But there are a lot of common injuries because people push themselves to be so flexible, but there's no strength built around it. So, I mean, the benefits of yoga, it's mindset, it's presence, it's energy. You've got the physical element, but also the right mindset. And there are so many different types of yoga. So just like any other piece of the fitness industry, something can resonate with you and something else might not. Yin yoga is all about quiet, slow, relaxing poses. People either love it or they hate it. Some people don't have the patience for that. They can't zone out. Then there's vinyasa, which is my jam, which is more strength focused. It's more power yoga. It's a flow. So you're moving from one thing to the other. You're getting a good sweat on. But there's also flexibility and mobility included. So
power
all
yoga,
kinds.
I'm in. Once you
Yeah.
say power yoga, I'm
Let's
in.
go.
Powerlifting, I'm in.
Let's go.
Now, what do you think about the my friend does this shit, and I can't. I don't know, man. I don't know if I could do it. That yoga thing, I don't know.
See,
You should
I'll
come
try
try.
anything once except skydiving.
I'm not into skydiving
Maybe
either.
It's the only
for
thing I
you,
wanna
maybe
do.
for you, I'll try it, but I don't know if I could. I don't know.
I think if you
I
give
have
it a
to-
try, I think you would like it more than you realize, even if,
feel
as
like
long as you come with an open mind.
I
That's
feel
all
like
I
I'd have
ask.
to wear like a dress to go do it. Or
What?
something.
Oh my God.
My buddy
I
Josh
take
does it.
offense to
Joking,
that.
I'm just messing with
My
you.
buddy does it under a tree
At
at the
least you
Jupiter
smiled.
Inlet.
All right.
Yeah.
What is he?
My buddy goes to this class. He's been trying to get me to go with him a couple times. He does it under like a tree at the Jupiter Inlet. And he's like the only guy
Oh
there.
yeah, at the lighthouse. That's not true. There are plenty of dudes who go
No,
there.
but
It's very beginner yoga. You can do it.
He told me
Anybody
like
can do it.
90% of the time it's like one or two dudes there, which is
Wow.
actually, if you really think about it, that's actually a great thing.
Yeah.
Because why the hell wouldn't you want to go to a place where you're surrounded by females?
There you go. I think you guys should just blast the stereotype and go try it out.
When he told me that was like a selling point. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, now I'm considering yoga.
Right.
There are
but-
plenty
right,
of hot chicks that do yoga.
Oh, I
Right,
know.
but you're not considering because you like think it's
Yep.
cool to be doing like. I've seen guys do some serious shit.
Oh yeah. I
And I
mean,
was like,
look, you got to
To
realize
me,
there's
it's a little.
Yeah. They don't call them yoga pants for no reason.
dudes aren't wearing
He said
dudes
that,
aren't
not
wearing
me.
the same stuff that I'm wearing. I mean, there's so much strength in some yoga poses, arm balances, like that's what I'm attracted to. And I know super masculine guys that can do some crazy shit that I'll never be able to do. Single arm handstands where they're in a straight up pike. I mean, that's not feminine.
There's a lot of NFL guys that are doing
Yeah,
It's
man.
like huge. Like Myles Garrett, one of the best like defensive ends in the league.
Yeah.
He's huge.
Who's he play for?
Browns. Guy's huge. He's
How do you not know who
a
Myles Garrett plays for?
Specimen.
I got sick of that.
He practically beat the brakes off of Mason
That
Rudolph
was
with a
a
helmet.
fight with the Steelers guy when they hit the helmet in the
oh,
head.
Oh, okay. Now I know who it
It's
is.
that guy.
Oh,
He
okay.
just pounded him with a helmet.
All right, maybe we should go do yoga, bro.
Let's go.
Myles Garrett can do it. We
Let's
can do
go.
it.
There you
Fuck.
go.
My friend does this shit. He does hot yoga
Uh-huh.
or heated yoga. What do you
Yep.
think about that? My accountant does.
People love it.
He
Not
goes
my
in-
jam. I sweat plenty with my workout, my yoga. Vinyasa gets your heart rate going. You know, it depends on the
What's
instructor.
vinyasa?
Vinyasa is just the name of the type of yoga, which is like yoga flow. There's a series called a vinyasa, which the practice is built around. And so it's this half push-up. How do I explain this?
It's kind of like doing the
it's a
worm
half
mid yoga,
push-up
isn't it?
Do you
and
know
a
that-
back
do you know this shit?
bend thing.
Well, I think I know what she's talking about. Isn't that kind of like
Yeah.
you're doing the worm when you do the push up?
Yeah, but not.
Not really? Okay.
Kinda. You know, whatever. It's a connected series of 3 poses that's called a vinyasa. And so the flow of the practice is kind of built around these 3 movements. So that's why it's called that.
If he goes after I saw him, I'll go.
I'll go with you. Let's go. When's class?
All right, so a week from this Saturday at
If you
9
go, I'll
a.m.,
go.
we teach it at our
9 a.m.
gym.
You got to do it at 9 a.m.
A dude teaches the class.
That's even worse.
No,
I'm not going.
No, it's not worse. I'll be right next to you. I'll help you. I'll flow with you. I promise.
I don't know if this.
good shit.
I've seen
And if we
this.
complain, she's going to tell me DBLB.
Yeah, look at his shirt.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
greatest shirt ever.
You guys
and
are
I
being
want to know how to get
closed-minded.
one. What does DBLB mean?
Don't be a little bitch. It's literally on the wall at her gym.
Yeah, it's our
Really?
slogan.
Oh, it
And
says
we
That
don't-
is pretty cool.
Is it censored
Yeah.
or does it say don't be a little bitch? In full
No,
words?
it says DBLB, and when people ask what that means, we
Oh.
decide if we tell them it means don't be a little bitch or it means don't be a little baby. So, for our very sweet elderly personal training clients, we don't tell them that it means bitch.
I'll tell you what. If he goes, I'll go with him.
All right, Ryan, let's go.
I'll go. So,
All right, good.
You're already down the rabbit hole. You're screwed. Sorry. You're coming.
Let's go.
Well, you're going too.
I don't know if I'm going Saturday.
A week from Saturday.
A week from Saturday.
At our gym.
You mean
I'm
like
gonna be
Saturday, like after
our
New Year's
gym.
Saturday?
No,
Like 2
not
weeks from
this
now.
Saturday.
Okay, just making sure. 'Cause I'm not
Next
gonna be,
Saturday.
I'm not going to be
Not
functioning
New
this
Year's
weekend.
weekend, no.
There's not going to be
Following
anything
week.
left to be. I'm going to have a 24-hour hangover. So.
Rob, guess what?
You're coming too.
Oh boy. I had.
Listen, if I gotta go, you gotta go.
I had my son.
I'll whoop your ass.
I know that.
Unless
know
I,
that. I'm not
unless you
messing-
have enough.
I'll give you
something in
all
your
a free
pocket.
class.
I ain't messing with him.
I'll pay.
Let's
I-
go.
I don't want nothing free.
I had
I
my-
hate free things.
I had my son do yoga. You're gonna laugh now. My
Oh, boy.
my team. Hold on. But he has terrible feet. He's flat feet. Playing football, he was having a terrible problem.
He probably has no ankle mobility.
I said, "Well, I've heard about
Train
this.
barefoot.
Let's try it." And he had no more pain in those feet, and I don't know what the fuck it was. What did it? But
It's awesome.
something did it, and weird. But I can't find it relaxing. Tommy, do you think it would be relaxing if you're trying to bend your body this way? Like that's the part where I'm like, I wouldn't be able to relax.
I would. How do I say it? I would feel a little bit odd doing it. But if I
You
have a
would
guy,
feel self-conscious because it's out of your comfort zone, right?
there you go.
All right,
Great-
well, this
great
is
way
out
to
of my
say it.
comfort zone, and I'm here.
But
so.
if this guy goes and does it with the mouthpiece in,
Yeah.
that was not just the
That's
mouthpiece.
extra.
That's a pretty cool mouthpiece. I used to box.
That's actually my shitty
Yeah, I got
mouthpiece.
3 golden gloves.
My coach has been telling me to throw that mouthpiece out for the longest time.
Yeah,
But it's my shitty one, so I wear it to training because I don't wear the good ones to training. I wear the good ones when I'm going to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, I boxed for years. I got 3 golden gloves, but what you do is completely different. My weight class, I was like 147.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got them. But I mean, I went to my toughest one was in New York.
Mhm.
Whew. But I was like, even though he's not really entertaining to watch, like Mayweather.
Yeah.
I would wait, and as you know, like as a fighter, everybody has a weak spot in their jaw, and then you wait until. And what I would do is I jab with my left hand because I'm right-handed,
Mhm.
and I'd wait, and I would already study their tape and everything,
Mhm.
and I would know where to hit them.
Mhm.
I would know right I have a huge scar because but I would always be like this because if you hit me here, I'm done. But you can hit me anywhere else. You're not going to bother me.
Yeah.
But I would wait. I'd watch the tape and I'd wait, and I would just jab and back, and then just wait for the guy to get cocky, and boom, just hit him where he needs to go, and that was it.
Yeah.
But what you do is a whole different ballgame.
Well,
that.
full disclosure, okay, I don't do just MMA or anything like that. I only do jiu-jitsu. So I don't really do the whole stand-up that much, just the ground stuff. I mean, I know enough stand-up to get me through to the ground. Most fights end up on the ground anyways, which is why jiu-jitsu is most important. And because I can do, like, I've had guys knock me down or guys, like, there's drunk people that just want to be like, oh, show me how you can do this. What would you do if some guy was on top of you hitting you? Well, I'd probably ankle pick him and try to take him down. Or, you can create distance with your legs so you don't get hit in the face if you're on your back. There's all kinds of things you can do in jiu-jitsu that even if you're on the ground, unless you're getting kicked by like 10 dudes, but even then you can still take some of them down. I mean, I don't know. I've never tried it on more than one person, but
How do you take hit? This is what I want to ask you. Like I see these UFC guys.
Mhm.
How are they taking punches like this?
I don't know. That's why I don't do MMA
crazy.
is because I trained. So
Can't
How
watch
the
it. I
hell
can't
in
watch
that?
it.
You
Yeah.
know what? I can't either.
So years ago, like when I first started training, I was probably like 18 years old, and I trained at the Armory, and the old Armory. I still actually train at the Armory. My coach, Marcelo Cohen, and I have been friends for years, right? But when I trained at the Armory back in the day, I did do a couple stand-up, like Edson Barbosa, the UFC fighter. Are you familiar with him?
Do you know him, Rob?
He was actually the coach there. This is before, back when he was fighting in New Jersey for small leagues and everything like that. Now he's in the UFC. He has that famous wheel kick knockout where he like knocked this dude out cold. The guy went stiff as a board.
Yeah.
But he used to be the striking coach at the Armory. And I did some
Ooh.
sparring back then.
Oh, I
Never
know that
fought,
fucker.
but I did some sparring. And I realized I didn't like getting hit in the face. So jiu-jitsu kind of teaches you how to avoid that, because you take people down, everyone thinks they're a fucking boxer. Everyone thinks they could stand. That's their main thing. When you get on the ground, like no one knows. Like I'm not even the best guy in my gym, but to like some random guy out in public, I could probably destroy him. But
Right.
like at my gym, I'm probably like in the middle of the pack. You know, like there's guys way better than me in my gym that smoke me every day. You know, and then there's people worse than me that I smoke. So I'm kind of like right in the middle. But to the public, to no one that people that don't train, first off, everyone's a white belt. Secondly, to people that don't train, they don't know anything. So once they get taken down, like they might have watched a couple boxing videos or seen some UFC stuff, but once they go to the ground, they don't know anything.
I don't know anything.
Or they know rear naked chokes, because that's like the only thing that really
I boxed for
resonates.
7 years.
Totally different sport.
I'd be done.
Oh yeah.
Because I wouldn't even know what to do if I got taken down. I only know one thing: my
Yeah.
hands. You know what I mean? How to block and dodge.
That's
you
what most
know?
people know or think they know, and then
Or
they
they
get
think
taken
they know.
down
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're on their back and they're like,
Oh,
I have no idea what
I
I'm
know.
doing here. They try to stand back up. So, I mean, the ultimate goal is to never use it.
Right, but it's a
never
good
wanna
thing to
use it.
have.
It's a good thing to have. You never want to use
Yeah.
it.
CYA.
Yeah.
Just in
What's
case, cover your ass, right?
CYA?
Remember?
Wow,
We're getting
this
terms
is
there.
more like laugh out loud.
Plus,
LOL.
Right?
plus
Yeah,
if someone takes
LOL.
me down and I have my gun on me, it's like, okay, my gun falls out. Great. I'm on jiu-jitsu, but my gun's on the floor next to me.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I see. I always thought that. Didn't you think that yoga? I thought it was like therapy. I thought it was like guys.
It can be. It can
Yeah.
be therapeutic, but it can also be a tough workout, right? It's what you want it to be, and it's what instructor you choose and what type of yoga you practice. I mean, it can be all of these things. It can be super quiet and slow and meditative, or it can kick your ass. So
If this guy does yoga and he's got to come
Oh,
with
boy.
us.
Let's go.
Rob, you're coming,
John
bro.
Brown, get ready.
Jiu-jitsu's therapeutic too, though. I mean,
Yeah.
this is actually-
that jiu-jitsu is so fucking hard though.
that's actually a good point, though, because like jiu-jitsu helps me be calm, right? And,
Yeah.
you know, I brought up my coach
You've got to
Marcelo,
be
but
focused, right?
like, so my coach and I have been friends for like 12 years, I think, right?
Let me ask you this:
And-
what got you into jiu-jitsu?
So when I was in high school, I played a couple different sports. I dabbled with football, basketball, things like that. And I wasn't good at basketball. I was average at best at football, right? I was quarterback at Jupiter High for like, I don't know, a year and a half.
You were a quarterback?
Mhm.
How tall are you?
5'9".
Damn.
So, but
How
you know,
the hell
high
were
school,
you throwing over these guys?
well, high school, everyone's not that tall. Like the tall guys are the freaks in high school.
Yeah.
But, and then after high school, I needed something competitive, right? Because I was in my senior year of high school, so I only was doing 4 classes. I got out after 4th period, so I got out at like 11 a.m. every day. I only went from like 7 a.m. to 11, and then I was out, and I would either go to work or I would go to training or I would do something like that. And I ran into Marcelo actually like shortly after he moved to America, and we became friends. And he didn't speak that good English then, super nice kid. And he was like inviting me to come train with him. So I had started going to some boxing gym called Jupiter Boxing. I don't even know if they're still around. And they had an American Top Team there doing the training. And then he convinced me to go over to the Armory, back when the Armory was in the old facility. And I went over to see his classes and then ended up staying at the Armory because the Armory facility back then was massive, had a cage in the middle, 2 mats, you know, like an upstairs weight room. It was huge. And it was a really cool gym. Marcelo was a nice guy, very inviting. And I was hooked ever since. But the other thing I liked about it was you're kind of in control of your own success, right? And Marcelo stays on my ass all the time because he's a friend. He will ride me harder than he rides some of the other guys at the gym. Because when I tell him I want to do a competition, he stays on my ass, regardless of, he doesn't let me slack. Like he will not. I can't give his ass excuses. Like he'll be like, "Shut the fuck up! You need to come train." He's like, "You missed it." Like I missed 1 day of training. 1 day, and he's on my case. If I'm like sore or something like that, he's like, no excuses, you still show up.
Well,
So-
Accountability coach.
Yeah, he's making you a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, flip side, he doesn't want to put his
DBLB,
name.
Ryan.
Exactly. He doesn't want to put his name behind me because he's the black belt.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to sign off for me to do anything unless he knows I'm training really hard. I'm making the sacrifices, you know, like for like 3 or 4 weeks out before a tournament or anything like that. No drinking, right? And I've only really competed once this year. but I competed more back then. And I took like a 5-year hiatus from jiu-jitsu because I was so focused on working. Before COVID actually got me back into jiu-jitsu. Before COVID, I was traveling a lot for work. I was in and out of airports. Training jiu-jitsu like 1, maybe 2 weeks a month when you're constantly gone and traveling doesn't make much sense. I mean, the gym's like $150 a month, right? It's expensive. Plus you're never there. Like when you take 2 or 3 weeks off from training because you're gone traveling for work, right? You go back, your body, every time you go back, it's like you skipped weightlifting. You know when you,
I would think that's like night and day.
yeah,
right?
you go back and you're sore as shit after one training session, and then you don't even want to go back the rest of the week. You're like, fuck. So I did that for like a couple months when I first started traveling, and then I was done. I canceled it. I didn't go back for like 5, actually maybe 6, 7 years. I don't know. It was a long time.
Wow.
I stopped training when I was like 23, 24. And then COVID hit. All the gyms closed, right? And we really only had access to the jiu-jitsu gym, and Marcel and I were friends, and we were like, well, we can't bring people to the gym really. We got to clean everything, all the protocols. But him and I were friends, and we were hanging out anyways because we couldn't really hang out with people. So you limit who you hang out with at the beginning of the pandemic, right? So him and I, we lived down the street from each other. So he would come over, we'd hang out. We were hanging out on the weekends. He was one of like the handful of people I'd hang out to because when COVID first hit, people didn't want to be around big crowds. You just hung out with your little groups of friends. Hopefully you didn't get a lot of exposure, right? You minimize contact with people. So since we were hanging out, we started training. It's like just one-on-one. We would just roll. And then all of a sudden I started getting back into it. I was like kind of refound the love for it again, because I got so wrapped up in my job and my career that I did not think about jiu-jitsu at all, really, for like years. And then got back into it.
How hard was it to go back into it?
It was hard. When I started training,
Can you imagine?
no bullshit.
No,
when I started
sounds
training,
rough.
no, scroll down. Scroll down. That's Marcelo right there.
Right here?
Yeah. So he's a really good black belt, world champ, top guy. He's a small guy, but he will wrap you up like a fucking pretzel. It doesn't matter. You could be 6'6", 250, and he'll be on your back like a spider monkey, choking you out. It doesn't matter. He's done it before. He's on camera choking out big
that
guys.
Damn thing with that jitsu shit.
Like that stand up is irrelevant. I never do stand up, but keep going down.
You can fight.
Look how fat I used to be.
Fight all the fuck you want.
No, keep going.
You know
keep going
that
down.
shit, you're done for.
Keep going.
Wow.
Way down. All
You
right,
just
stop.
want everybody to see all your photos.
No. There's one. All right, click that one with the beer in my hand at the wedding. Look at my face. I look like a damn Oompa
You look
Loompa.
like a balloon.
I was a fucking balloon. I was like 240. My heaviest was 252.
And you're fighting right now?
No. Then I wasn't doing anything.
Oh,
That's
you
when I
weren't.
wasn't training. So it's crazy because I lost a little bit of weight for a little while and then got down to like 220 earlier this year, just cutting and watching my diet. And then that's Stipe Miocic. That's Bang Days.
He's a bad man.
He's the bad, and he's actually the coolest fucking guy on the planet.
You know who he is?
Bad man.
So
Is it?
we had a little stash back there, like a little like lunchroom, so to speak. Not really a lunchroom. It's like pallets where we kept bang that we would just eat. But he'd be back there eating sandwich with us, talking shit. Like he'd go out with us. Super cool guy.
Why is it that these UFC fighters? They're like the craziest dudes on the planet, right? They'll kill you, but then they're the nicest guys in the world. You're like, this guy is what? If you didn't know who he was and you met him, be like, he's a what? Because they just seem like these real nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You met him?
I never met him. I know who he is from watching him fight.
Yeah. So we went out to dinner with him one time, and also just like eating sandwich. Like, dude, that guy was cool. He took that photo like 4 times. I didn't like the angle because back then
Oh
I
my
was huge.
God.
I was like 250. So I found that angle, right? I'm
Yeah.
going to be straight up. I
Yeah.
found that angle. I was like, oh man, I was like probably like 240 something in that picture. But then when I started training, I was
Yeah,
like
you look
220.
jacked.
I lost some weight. And then
Go
now
to that
I'm 180.
Go to that purple one. I would not want to be hit by that. What? You right-handed?
Yeah, right-handed.
Oof.
But I don't have good punches, man. I just do jiu-jitsu. Getting hit's not the concern. Staying on
Yeah.
your feet is the concern.
Now, Sydnee, when you train people, are you like that? Are you on them?
I mean, yeah, like it's so interesting. There's so much psychology in training. So I have to shift my personality based on what my client needs. So, I have one client that she needs me to be on her ass. She needs me to yell at her to a certain degree. She needs me to be like, all right, quit complaining, quit resting.
A lot of people
Let's
like that, huh?
go.
Yeah.
And then there are other people that are just, they want to move faster than I can talk, and they're just in it. So I'm like, all right, here's the next thing. I show them everything at once, and I'm like, let's go. And then I push them harder, you know, and I've got to be really flexible and fluid. Some days is harder than others, especially, you know, people aren't perfect. So there are some days that I wake up and I'm a little cranky, and I got to turn that off, and I got to be the best I can be for the person that I'm in front of. And if they're cranky, I've got to figure out how to make them not cranky.
And that's also another good point with like her. It's also probably like up to your relationship, because Marcelo doesn't talk like that to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But Marcelo's got my cell phone number. If I slack, he's on my shit, especially if he knows I have something scheduled. If he knows there's a tournament I want to do, or like when I did that Nogi super fight, like he was texting me daily. Like there was no running away from him. He knows where I live too. So
Show up at your house.
if I didn't answer, he probably would, but I always answered. So.
Yeah.
But probably just like you, like, and I had a trainer too, you know, and I saw how he treated other people. But if they knew that you were into it, then they put their time into you. If you weren't serious, then whatever.
And,
you know?
and a lot of people, like when I had that
That's
happen,
how you are too?
Yeah, you know, I give more of myself when I get the same in return, you know, so I'll go out of my way to train somebody, you know, on a Saturday later than I normally would if they are inconsistent and they care and they do their homework. You know, those who don't do their homework and they don't seem to care and they're 10 minutes late every time, well, why should I care so much about your health and wellness if you don't care? And I give everybody 100% no matter what, but I'm going to give more to you if you give back. It's just how it is, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that makes good sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know?
and you have to. And like when I did that, I was gonna say was when I did that Nogi tournament where I was wearing that cyborg suit, like
Do you fight
everyone-
in that? Do you fight in that white suit?
yeah, that's a live shot if you go up from a jiu-jitsu fight that I did in August. But like once I did that, everyone was like
sorry to
asking.
interrupt you. That's barefoot, right?
That's barefoot. Yeah.
Oh.
I was
Yeah,
working.
because
I was
rolling
working
around
those
on the
feet.
floor.
I was working
Yeah.
those feet. Yeah, those two.
Yeah.
Before I'm
that's
drinking.
fucking-
As you can tell, my Instagram is like the epitome of work hard, play hard. It's
Yeah,
either me
yeah.
drinking or me training.
Yeah, it's like one of the, yeah.
Yeah, we believe in moderation here.
Yeah.
So, but like that tournament right there, the shot makes my butt look good.
Oh my God. You two are so much more girly and high maintenance than I am, just for the record.
That's a false record, but okay. But like after that happened, like when people knew I was doing that, once we posted that flyer, everyone's like, "Oh, I want to do one. I
Blow
want to do
that one up. Blow
Can
that
you,
one
can
up.
you get
Rob.
me in one?" But like no one was
I don't know how you
training
blow
the
that
whole
up.
first half of the year.
That was
You
blown
know?
up.
Oh, yeah.
People at the Army are going to kill me when I say this, but a lot of people wanted to participate in that event,
Right.
and Marcelo was riding my ass. I was buying like some extra privates because I would still pay him for privates, and you know, like you got to put in the work. Like when you're doing privates and you're working on techniques and strategies, and that, you know, that was after 3 months of training after I took like a 5-year layoff, 6-year layoff. So I did no training except for like I think I started in like April. So probably like April to August. How many months is that? April, May, June, July, August.
See, men always look at the women
4
for
months.
these kind of questions.
I wasn't going to do that for him. I could have, but
Yeah,
you're a big boy.
So
Woo!
that was after like 4 or 5 months of training consistently. But I took like 5 years off. So,
Yeah.
and I had competed in the past. A lot of people, you know, hadn't competed at the adult level. A lot of people want to train and compete, but competing's hard. Like getting ready for that mentally sucks. Because you got to go up against some dude in spandex. I could imagine what actual UFC fighters go through.
See, like, you don't have to wear
Because-
that for yoga. Like, come on.
That's actually really comfortable though. It's just kind of tight.
Yeah, but
and,
y'all
you
were
know.
talking about spandex and yoga pants. Just saying.
I mean,
Right?
I mean, I don't want to be taken down at the legs, but that is pretty
Well,
spandex.
Lucky
there,
for you,
my
you're sitting
man.
down. So
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll just stay sitting here.
here's a plug too, by the way. That apparel company, if you're a
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu fan, is great. Flow and Roll, those guys are awesome. They take really good care of their athletes, and their stuff fits phenomenally. So
Well, on top of that, like if I come out and let's just pretend I know jitsu,
Mhm.
and I see you in that, I'm already like, what the fuck? Like it would throw me off.
yeah, it's
You know?
cool, and that's when they first dropped that. So like no one had it.
Yeah.
Like at that time, no one really had that particular outfit.
Because look at
now
the-
people have it all over the
but
place.
yeah, but look at the schmuck that's fighting. He's in like some shorts.
Yeah, but he actually beat me, so I actually lost that. I lost by
Really?
points. So
Oh,
he
fine.
couldn't finish me. This is the thing that I like submission only tournaments because you have to get a tap. I don't like points because like you could really just get a good position on somebody and ride that out and just
Yeah.
hold it.
I know.
And
That's what I hated about boxing.
it gets kind of boring. you know, so like it's way funner or way more fun
funner.
if
my grammar's terrible.
yeah, because that whole fight, my main goal was to try to get a Kimura, an armbar, or something like that.
This guy beat you?
He beat me by points. Yeah.
But
So that's literally what he did.
Didn't put you down. You didn't tap out on him.
No. I forgot how he got into the position. He couldn't finish me, but he tried like once or twice. But I forgot how he got into the position, but he got on top of me, and that's literally what he did. He just rode the position because I had him in a Kimura position a couple times, and I was trying to go for the Kimura. But
what's a Kimura?
Kimura is like an arm lock, where basically like you lock the people at the wrist, kind of like a hammer lock, and you just crank their arm back like this in a direction it's not supposed to bend.
Oh.
So
No, thank you.
that's just the summary. Marcelo, my coach, is like an expert at Kimuras too. He literally has a DVD that says the Kimura series, how to attack that position. So, but I went for that a few times, was unsuccessful, and then he got on top of me and basically just racked up points.
I'm like you. I can only watch that shit because I don't know how these guys can take these punches.
Yeah, that's why I read the caption.
Clearwater Beach, all you motherfuckers sitting on the couch.
Because I lost. So before anyone started talking shit, I was like, yo, like all you motherfuckers are
Go
sitting
fuck
on the
yourself,
sidelines.
pretty much,
So
yeah.
we're out here actually, because, you know, like that's stressful. Imagine being in front of a big crowd. I mean, there was a crowd there like that.
Like how many people are there at that?
Probably like, I don't know, 500.
That's still
Because there's a whole, so the
That's a
opposite
lot
side of that,
people.
yeah.
that side had the corners on each side behind the banners, right? And then that one, they did entrance musics, everything. You walked out from your side. You warmed up opposite sides of your opponent. So that guy was on that side, I was on that side. And basically the stands were on the other side, and there's a couple of vendors there.
See, you look
Maybe not
like-
5, maybe
you
4,
look like
less
that-
than 5.
Sydney, doesn't he look like he would smash him?
From
He's
this
also way
angle,
taller
he's
than me,
super
too.
scary.
So you got to remember weight. You know, we both weighed 170, but that guy's like
what
a foot taller
6
than me.
inches on foot?
No, not the foot, because he had to
6
be almost
inches.
7
Looks
feet
like
tall,
about
but
6
probably
inches,
like,
yeah.
5-6 inches.
And he's got long arms too.
Mm-hmm. That's basically what he did. He just racked up points. I lost by points, and but you know, I don't really memorize the rules too much because they change every
Yeah.
tournament. So I try to go for the
Yeah.
finish. It's more fun. It's more exciting. You know, same thing my coach does. I mean, he doesn't like to compete. He's been on UFC Fight Pass a few times, and he doesn't want to make it boring because if you know, at the end of the day, this is just jiu-jitsu. This isn't MMA. So MMA, I totally understand playing the points game because in MMA, like, you keep a win-loss record. In jiu-jitsu, you really kind of don't. I mean, you do and you don't. But it's more about winning the titles that you're going up against, kind of like, you know, tournaments or Olympics or things like that, right? Where you get the medal.
Do you
But-
think UFC is rigged at all?
I don't know. I can't really speak on it because I'm not there. I mean, I think that politically, kind of. Because I think that they put people in positions based on sales and not people that
Yeah.
actually have earned those positions. So I've seen some fighters that I look at, and you could just look at their body of work and say, okay, like this guy's earned that shot or this guy hasn't. And then you see guys, ew, they just are really good at talking, but they get into a position because they know that fight will sell. So I
Yeah.
don't think the rankings mean quite as much, and I don't think they adjust the rankings as much because like welterweight division, when Tyron Woodley was doing shit for a long time, he was still #1 contender, you know, after he lost the title.
That would tell me money, right?
Yeah.
I mean-
So I just think that they should play it. I don't know the answer, but the fighters that actually win and maybe have like a combined opponents record too, because that's something that's important. A lot of guys rack up, you know, 7-0, 8-0 records, and they fight a bunch of nobodies, right? So when you fight a bunch of nobodies, it's easy to get to 7-8-0 if you're really good or if you have really good game plans. I mean, I wouldn't say easy. I'm not gonna say any of it's easy, but if you beat people that have good records, there should be like, you know how like the NFL, you have like strength of schedule, right?
Yeah,
Based on
right,
the opponent's
right,
schedule.
right. Yeah.
Have something like that in the UFC where like, okay, you have a strength of schedule or strength of record, and this is the cumulative record of all the people you
Not
fought.
just wins on some
Not just
dummy
wins
that
and
doesn't know
losses.
what he's doing.
Yeah, because you get to 8-0 and you fought a bunch of guys that are 0-3. Like, they're a bunch of scrubs. I mean, you could go grab any fucking redneck out of Moultrie, Georgia, throw him in
Yeah.
a cage. Like,
And get your numbers up.
that's what they used to do in Tallahassee. Like when I was in Tallahassee at Tallahassee Combat Sports when I was in college, right? Like that's what they would do. They would go up literally Moultrie, Georgia. That's an exact example. They would go up from Tallahassee. They would go fight some hillbilly. Have you ever heard of Moultrie, Georgia?
No.
Exactly. No one knows what the fuck that is. It's just like literally like a little bit north of the Florida-Georgia border, just north of Tallahassee. So you can basically take the road that goes from Tallahassee that the Capitol is on straight north, or Thomasville Road, maybe not the Capitol Road, but all the way straight north. It goes through this little town called Moultrie, Georgia. Literally, it's in a fucking barn. I'm not shitting you. Like, and these rednecks are out of shape. You. Like, these are hillbillies. Like, they look like they drank.
Then they get the record up. And then they go, yeah, I get it.
That's what they did back in the day. That gym's not around anymore. And the guy who ran it, R.I.P. Josh Saman, but he was a really cool dude because when I first moved to Tallahassee, I didn't know anybody, and he brought me into kind of the gym because I did a dumbass decision. Never go to college with a girlfriend. I moved to Tallahassee with the girl I was dating, and she wanted to go to UCF. And I was like, well, I'm not going to...
said this, not me, by
I'm not going to fucking UCF. She'll watch this. She'll know exactly who I'm talking about. She watches this.
Boy.
But
I had nothing to do with whatever he says.
But I was basically like,
problems.
I'm not going to UCF. I'm going to FSU if I go anywhere. So I moved up to Tallahassee. You just wanted to party. Well, yeah.
I'm a gator, by the way. We've never talked about this.
Yeah. So what did we say about removing her from the podcast?
Oh.
She's gone. But yeah, so that's basically, I forgot where that conversation was even going. But that's basically my whole background.
But you know what? I can kind of, as much as I hate to admit this, I can kind of see, and yes, I'm vaping, because they leave comments that you vape. Yeah, I fucking vape.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Get over it.
Who cares?
Okay.
We all vape.
We're over that.
We're all vapors.
So,
not all of us.
But I can see how yoga could help you doing this, because it would like make you more flexible, right?
Did you see the Tony Ferguson fight that just happened like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. I watched part of it.
All right, this guy's arm was literally fucking bent like backwards, and
I don't know how
under
the hell,
his leg?
And he didn't go down.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, he didn't tap, and like I would have tapped. Like you get my arm barely straight. I tore this bicep actually when I was like 22 in a Kimura.
Ouch.
Because Marcelo started teaching me the Kimura early, right? So the Kimura has always been like my favorite move. I used to be a cocky idiot when I was like 21 years old. Not that anything's changed, but the idiot part's changed. I'm no longer an idiot. Cocky, maybe. But this Spanish kid locked me in a Kimura, and I was like, oh, I'm not fucking out of this. That's my favorite fucking move. I'm not fucking, like my thought process was like, I'm going to sit here and do my best to defend it. Well, of course, it snapped. And then we're riding back from like Lakeland or some shit or Tampa, wherever the fight was, or the tournament. And I kept saying to Marcelo, I'm like, bro, my arm hurts. He's like, it's just fucking sore. You had it in a bad position. When we get back a couple days later, it still hurts. So I went to get checked out. It ended up being a torn bicep.
Ugh. Brutal.
Torn from the radial head, which is the side, like inside your elbow.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So
Yeah, he ain't right. He ain't right.
What's that?
Who?
He ain't right.
Yeah.
Don't go near him. you ain't right in your head.
You think I'm not right? You should see Marcelo. Marcelo's an animal. That kid. He's a bouncer, believe it or not.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
He's 135 pounds. He's a bouncer. But
yeah, well, he can do some crazy shit apparently.
There's literally a video of him jumping
Doesn't matter how big he is.
There's literally a video of him jumping across a bar, choking a guy out.
I believe it.
Because the guy started the fight.
He's an Italian guy?
Huh?
He's an Italian guy?
Marcelo?
Yeah.
No, he's Brazilian.
Brazilian. Fuck.
Yeah. He's straight up OG Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from Carlson Gracie's gym in Copacabana, Brazil.
Oh, the Gracie brothers?
Carlson Gracie. So, he got his black belt from Marcelo Saporito, who now runs Carlson Gracie's gym because Carlson Gracie, RIP, has also passed away, a legend of the Jiu-Jitsu game. And now they get the new head coach at that gym in Brazil gave Marcelo his black belt.
You got to be strong to do this shit.
No, you don't got to be strong. Actually, the yoga thing is great. Yeah. You got to be flexible because, if I'm really strong, it doesn't matter how strong of a fucking bicep I am. When someone's whole body is cranking on my one arm, your arm can't curl someone's entire body weight.
So I can see how this could work.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So actually at our gym, Kaizen Fitness Systems, all of the coaches...
So me, him, and Rob come in.
Let's go.
What are you going to put us in the heat at least so we can sweat? Or am I just going to stand there
You'll
and
sweat, but
look
we
like
don't
a
have heat.
Weirdo?
We're not a heated yoga studio. We're a boutique gym, so you'll sweat on your own.
You're not going to need heat to sweat there.
Yeah.
I was sweating my ass off after like 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing yoga?
Yeah. No, I was doing the kettlebell class, and he
came to my kettlebell strength class.
Yeah, she was giving me like
Actually,
baby workouts.
Yeah, I would actually like to try that.
Come on.
No.
Yeah, what's cool is all of us there are at minimum kettlebell strength instructors and yoga instructors. So we combine everything in everything that we do. So you're getting mobility, conditioning, flexibility, strength, no matter what, which is super cool and unique. And so we incorporate yoga when people don't realize they're doing yoga, because it helps them warm up, it helps them cool down for the flexibility angle and the mindset angle.
So are we all going to be in a room with this 6-foot bullshit, or?
So our gym is set up basically as a studio. It's AstroTurf. We've got kettlebells on the one side. We've got pull-up bars on one side. We've got lifting, like barbell rigs on the other side. And then it's a big open room, basically. So everybody separates as needed. Like we don't have squares on the floor because people take self-responsibility to separate each other and themselves. And if we need to separate you, we do. But like we have such a close-knit community that like everybody goes where they need to go. You don't want to be up in his face or, you know, in weird places anyway.
This man knows the size of a fart molecule, okay? He probably knows.
Maybe he wants to be up in there.
Yeah.
But in yoga, you know, you're
I'm not
upside
worried
down
about
and
it
you're
at
moving
all.
around, so you don't want your nose in a weird place on his body.
Look, I got.
I'm not putting him behind me.
That's what I'm saying.
I got this
You'll be
little thing.
separated.
So if I see somebody that I'm not quite sure, because this is the easiest way to tell if somebody might have COVID.
What is that? A thermometer?
Yeah, but it's a really good thermometer. It's not just a thermometer.
It's an infrared thermometer.
It's the best thermometer in the
My
history of
son is
thermometers.
infrared. No, but I don't even need to touch it. I can go right here, and if you're 99, fuck that. Well, 99, because you know it's all bullshit. Because that's just the average. Because maybe your body temperature is 99, maybe you're 99.2. I'm
And you-
97.8. I'm like I have a low body temperature, which means I'm gonna live
Interesting.
probably a lot long. Because
Hopefully.
hopefully.
And your body
well,
temperature
jeez.
will raise at different times too,
Yeah.
and hormones. And
But
all
but
the
if I would
things.
see 100 come in here, I wouldn't even let them in. You know, come
Did
back.
you like secretly
well,
check
no.
us?
No, it's just
You could have.
no. I just
I
looked
mean-
up. I knew you guys were into fitness and shit. I'm not gonna, fuck
Yeah.
it. And then
This
plus,
is the part we cut out, because what if they say we're not COVID compliant?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? This
solid.
was actually filmed in Costa Rica.
yeah. We are in the Dominican Republic right now, and me, Ryan, and Sydney and Rob, we're buying a piece of land for 10K, and then we're gonna build a house for 20K, and we have a 5-bedroom
Yeah.
house.
You can in
7
Costa Rica.
We have
Well,
a jungle in the
Dominican?
background.
Oh shit, forget about it. Dominican, that's where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Miss Harris gets in, see ya.
I'm gonna fly Marcelo down. He's gonna teach a gorilla jiu-jitsu, and we're gonna have
A fucking
we're
gorilla.
gonna have a defense
Well, as
gorilla.
a pet out back, yeah. And we'll teach him how to hold a
We're
shotgun.
gonna fly Sean down. I used to call Sean Baby Gorilla. That was
Why
his
in the
nickname
hell
back
would
in the
you
day.
call Sean Baby Gorilla?
Because I used to be way bigger than Sean. Now we're like the same size. But Sean and I, when we first started working out together, I used to call him Baby Gorilla.
I highly doubt. Do you know Sean?
No.
Okay, Sean
I don't know who you're
Rabbicini.
talking about.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Got it.
He has absolutely no shot on his worst day. He could drink that whole bottle and no shot. And I love Sean. Sean's
what?
my dude, but no
At
shot.
jiu-jitsu? He's trained with us before. He came. Sean used to be friends with Marcelo. Well, they're still friends, but I don't think they talk as much now.
Fuck that.
You guys have a lot of mutual connections, huh?
Yeah, well, that's how we met, was through a mutual connection.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Wes, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, Wes and I know each other for a while. Marcelo and I, I don't tend to do the new friends thing too often. Like, most of my friends have been friends for a long time.
Well, like he's from up north, like me.
Mhm.
Like when I worked for the news, and when I came down here, I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Because
Why is that?
well, you both grew up here, right? Up north, it's a different ballgame. People have loyalty. They have honesty. They don't fuck you. Maybe they know who you are. Maybe they know that you're a jitsu guy, and they don't fuck with you.
Mhm.
Down here, they just wait. They wait. They wait for the opening, and then they fuck you.
That's
It's-
Florida for you, though.
It's tough down here to form relationships. It just is.
Mhm.
Except, a lot of the super local people, that's where you find like the good, solid, loyal people. It's all of the transplants that have mixed together and bring all the crazy ideals from everywhere else.
Yeah.
So I moved down here, Right? Ready?
Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the problem.
I'm
kidding.
Well,
He's a problem. I don't have the
I'm
problem.
working on my narcissism, my social. What am I? Oh, I'm all kinds of shit. Sociopath, all kinds of crazy shit. Psychopath.
Oh,
There's a
boy.
bunch of. I got a whole list of shit that I'm working
We're
on.
crossing them off one by one. We're getting there.
Yeah. And
He needs a camera.
oh, him?
Yeah.
Well, I got to stand there for
Oh,
him.
okay.
Yeah. Well, I have one at the house.
Yeah.
That'll be number 5?
Just another camera to rig up to the thing here.
Another plug to put in.
More
More
wires.
wires to trip over and then pull one out and everything
Yep.
is fucked up.
It makes people guess who I am, though.
Yeah, that's good.
The mystery.
Well, no,
Kind of know who I am.
no homo, but you're a good looking guy.
Yeah, I won't go that far out. That's why I was behind the camera here.
Oh,
But go ahead.
man.
But when I first came down, I walked into Publix. There's no Publix up north.
Mm-hmm.
And I would see like a 20-year-old woman. I'd see a 50-year-old woman. I'd see like a 70-year-old woman whacked out of their mind in Publix. And up there, like this whole pill thing, it's not like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? Because I never seen it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it was just crazy to me. And then I got into business, you know, many businesses. And this fucking guy, like you, we won't say names, this fucker waited 3 years to fuck me. And I believed him. I believed and I mean, these guys are good down here, boy. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
They're the most manipulative con artists I've ever seen in my life in South Florida.
So you tell me this. This is actually interesting because you tell me if you think that it's a red flag. Whenever, like, if you meet somebody that's lived in the same place for a long time, to me, it's a red flag if they don't have any long-term friends. Like if you met me and I'm like, I grew up in Florida for 20 years, 30 years, right? And all my friends were like people I just met. Like I have some friends I just met, but that's small. Like the only person I'm really close with that I just met is probably my boy Jeremy. And we met like 3-4 years ago. And we became really good friends. I can't think of any new friends, but most of my friends are long-term friends. And to me, that's kind of how you can tell people if they're a piece of shit or not. Because like Marcelo's never gone behind my back. Sean's never gone behind my back, right? We've always, like, he's never done anything that would have upsetted me, right? And I think that that's huge because I've dated girls or I've talked to friends and they'll be like, you know, they'll be, oh, I just met this guy last weekend. I don't know, you know, like it's okay to meet new people if you think they're good. Obviously, give everyone an opportunity, right? But if they don't have any long-term friendships, like once you kind of get to know them and you get to know their circle and no one has known them longer than like a year, you're like, and they've lived here forever, you're like, all right, obviously the people you hang out with probably isn't the problem. It's probably you because no one has really stuck by your side for an extended period of time.
No, you're right. You're right. But it took me a long time to figure that out because
Yeah.
because I would be around somebody and I was trying to change the way I was, you know what I mean? Because I was a totally different guy than I am today. Okay. And I was trying to change and trust people and look at things differently, which was a bad move.
Mhm.
And then I got fucked because I have a heart and shit. You know what I mean? So then I would be like, okay, whatever. I would see signs, but I would overlook it. But down here, they would just wait, and then they would come whenever they could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
That's why you need the time. You need time to like test people and, you know, when you go through challenges, and you go through breakups, and you go through tough shit.
Right.
So-
And at the time, I was extremely alone. You know, I bought a dog, which is right there and right there. I bought my dog Guido. I bought a show dog.
You would name him fucking Guido.
I got a.
That's such a name. I could see him naming his dog
Yeah,
Guido.
I have a dog named Guido. He's a show dog. Because I was completely alone. I had nobody.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then I could see that I was working all the time and he was like alone and needed a friend. So I was like, well, I'm going to get him a cool friend. So I go buy a French Royale Docel micro mini French Bulldog. It was this big. Camella.
A lot of words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Micro, what is it again?
It's a micro mini French Bulldog.
That is a bougie dog.
It is a bougie
So
dog.
we officially found the biggest girl in the room.
100%. 100%.
So I'll tell you a funny story. The dog it was French Bulldog, this big. But when I bought it, I mean, it was ridiculous.
Mhm.
But when I bought it, they were like, you know, there's no guarantees that she's going to live because they don't live long, you know?
Because they breed them and breed them and
Well, no, they're just so
Ugh.
small.
Yeah.
And you never know, like, they're very rare. They're
Mhm.
like 1 in a gazillion. It's very hard to get like I'm talking a French bulldog.
Mhm.
Like I'm telling you,
I've seen them before. That's like literally the #1 chick dog that they always bring into the purse to brunch, and you see this little French bulldog come out of her purse, little baby dog, and you're like, how old is it? 6 years old. I'm like, it's like the size of my fucking iPhone.
but you know, like you know, like a mini Yorkie. Well, now imagine a French bulldog that like goes. She was no,
They're cute though.
I got the best, but she was this. She was probably the size of your microphone. Maybe I'll show you a picture when we get off this. And she wouldn't eat because her teeth weren't coming in. So I fed her Irish butter for 6 months.
What?
She wouldn't eat. I had to keep her alive. Fuck.
Irish things are the best. Irish whiskey, Irish butter, Irish men.
I mean,
Yeah. You're Irish? Is that what you are?
Yeah.
I agree.
I got clovers tatted all the way down my arm. I'm Irish as fuck.
Yeah,
Irish
I
AF.
like Irish people. I never had any problem with any Irish guy.
Because all we do is we drink and we tell the truth. And
Yeah.
people don't like
They're
it.
loyal.
Yeah.
And you tell the way it is.
Mhm.
And then people don't like that fucking shit.
Yeah. I actually had to stop. I stopped
Stop the what?
saying my mind.
I don't know about that.
What do you think about that?
I think speaking your mind is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, be
Well-
straight up. I mean, for me, I am what you see is what you get. So that's what I like in people because why are you going to be deceitful?
Well, you know the saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like
Well,
what he was
but
saying about
that's
people
different.
down here.
Yeah.
You know, some of the stuff I keep to myself.
I get it. It's, you know what? This town, this
I'm working on it.
county.
I'm working on it. I
Is
go to
it-
therapy.
There
Mhm.
you go.
I go to therapy once a week. Don't like to admit it, but I
Fired my therapist and started smoking.
go to Aggressy.
Go
Mark
who?
Aggressy.
I don't
He's
know
on
who that
Palm
is.
Beach Island.
I'm not going to therapy. I am
It's
my own
okay.
therapist.
It's a healthy
Yeah,
thing.
Me too.
No, I used to go to
well-
therapy. I have in the past. I just don't
Listen,
go anymore.
I had to drag myself in there to fucking therapy. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
But you know, but I was a nightmare. And anyway, so I got this dog. I'm feeding her butter all the time because she wouldn't fucking eat this asshole. And now she's a fat fuck. So now it looks like a half mini because her ass is bigger than your ass. You know.
All right.
But the personality on this dog is unbelievable. You meet him. You guys are great people.
Yeah.
You're
Thanks.
welcome to my home anytime. Did you ever see Kamala?
Nope.
Oh shit.
No, we got to say it properly.
Oh, this
it's
fucking
Kamala.
yeah. Oh, here we go with this
Your dog
bullshit.
Kamala?
No, Kamala.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking about something else.
Spell with a C or a K?
See,
Sarcasm, Rob. Sarcasm.
sarcasm.
I'm a sarcastic fuck.
Yeah.
Everyone that knows me knows that. That's also part of the reason I had to put a filter on. I used to not have a filter. I
But
still sometimes don't.
But don't you think? Tell people the way it is. Fuck them. They don't like you. Fuck them.
Yeah, it's also kind of like you have to deliver the message the right way. Because sometimes you can't just
Yeah, I'm working
flat
on
out
that.
say it. You have to like take some time, think about it, be like, all right, this is a conversation I have to have.
Well, I say it differently than I used to say it.
See what I
But-
mean? You're having a filter.
you can still say things straight up. You don't have to be a dickhead about it.
But sometimes
Unless
being
you
straight up is a
choose
dickhead.
to.
Am I? What do you think? Am I a dickhead?
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying you can
Just straight up.
choose.
Just tell it like it is.
Yeah, but you're a loyal guy though,
Just
so
tell it.
you've never seen me around somebody that I
Now,
don't.
you know my wife. She'll tell it like it is. I told you this.
Yeah.
She'll tell it like
Yeah.
it
Oh,
is.
his wife. Oh, you would die.
She's gonna kill me if
Oh, I
she's
By
gonna.
the
kill me. She's Puerto Rican, so let's just
Oh
start there.
man, you fucked up there,
And
bro. I've been there, done that. Don't go to Puerto Ricans.
She's I've been with her for 13 years now, but she will tell you right to their face the minute she meets you. She'll say, "Yeah, he's a fucking asshole." Like she won't say that right to your face, but she'll feel it out, and she'll tell me when we leave. She's like, "I don't like that guy. Nope, don't like him."
Puerto Ricans are crazy.
I'm not saying
Crazy.
not
No,
comment.
you can't say shit.
Yeah.
You're legally obligated to not say anything. You're gonna have a huge bill later when the divorce comes through. She'll divorce you just for saying Puerto Ricans are crazy.
you're
I
under-
can say it. You're
Yeah.
safe.
I'm not saying nothing, and you're under restriction.
Just cut his mic off. You can't.
Yeah, I turned it down just to save him.
Yeah.
I just saved you. Millie, love you. Thank you for allowing Rob to be here and not coming after me.
Yeah. We'll
So-
leave the wives out of this.
Yeah. What is NASM?
NASM,
The hell is that?
National Association for Science Medicine.
Did you know what that was?
Yeah, that's where you can get like nutrition certifications,
You can
personal
get
training certifications.
all kinds of certifications.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So on top of all my niche hands-on certifications, I'm in the process of getting my formal personal training certification through NASM. So I'm in a study program where I'm going to take the formal test to just build upon all of this specific knowledge that I have now, and all of the studying that I've done on my own in a formal way, because that will allow me to train in more places and in more facilities with more people. It builds legitimacy, really.
So what's the difference between like a personal trainer and a NASM?
Uh,
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I mean, a
said it off.
NASM personal trainer, that's just a different, that's who I'm getting certified through. The organization is called NASM, that's the acronym, but there are other personal training certifications through other brands. I'm a kettlebell strength instructor, so I'm certified to instruct in that modality, and then I can work one-on-one with people through all of those modalities. But the CPT gives me a more expansive level of knowledge. It gets a little more specific into nutrition, into counting calories, into anatomy. I have a general range and a lot of self-study and research, but this is kind of going to give me more broad specifics, if that makes sense.
Now, what do you think about the? I read your thing. What do you think about the keto diet? My dad lost. I can't believe he went on it. Well, he went off of it real quick when he couldn't eat pasta. But
This is gonna be good.
the
We pour
keto
my
thing.
whiskey.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are all kinds
And then I want to
of...
ask him what he thinks. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
you want to do that?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I date a chef, so this whole conversation, everything, gluten, dairy, I mean, he gets outraged with these conversations too, because he's all about science and he's, gluten intolerance is bullshit. It's pretty funny, but
Which is true.
it's
not true. True.
I'm gonna put that one to the side for
Most
a
people
minute.
think they're gluten intolerant and they're not because they don't actually have fucking celiac disease. So
I agree with that. Look, I believe in moderation. I eat cookies. I eat pasta. I just do it in moderation. For me, dairy is inflammatory for me. I tend to break out. I don't feel as good, right?
Yeah.
So
No,
these
dairy's
different
bullshit.
types of
Yeah.
diets, there are fads, there are things that work. You have to do your research and see if it is the right fit for you, and you have to do it properly. Keto doesn't mean you're going and you're eating all of the cheese and all of the fat that you can. There's a specific reason around it. And some of these diets are meant to be temporary. Some are meant to be lifelong. I believe in a lifestyle. So for me, 80% no grains, no dairy, that's what works best for me to be lean and super high energy. But that's what works best for me. There are other days that I let it go and I have the pizza or the cupcake. It's okay, but that also might not work best for somebody else who knows what they have going on. So,
But I've studied this too, right? So if you go on a keto diet, okay, there's no, in my opinion, I'm just some idiot sitting over here, right? But in my opinion, there's nobody that somebody can sustain a keto diet. So in my opinion, what happens is they go on the keto diet, they eat all this, fat only, cheese, whatever. Then they'll lose a lot of weight, but then they give in,
right.
Okay, and now they go back and have carbs, and now they blow right back up to where they were.
That's my issue with diets.
The same thing with this vegan shit. Okay. I don't eat red meat because my mom had colon cancer, and we had fortunately at the time we had the best doctors on the planet, and the reason why she had colon cancer was because she ate steak 5 days a week with freaking pasta and red meat, and this is not like a little doctor. I mean, this is the best you can possibly get. And she was supposed to die in 2002. She's still alive today. And they said that the reason why she got it was because she ate too much red meat. Not that eating a steak is bad, but I mean, my mom would eat it every fucking day.
Yeah.
Even after we fixed it, she went back to it again.
Well, I'm glad she's still alive.
Well,
First and foremost.
she's fucked up again, but That's another story. But yeah, so like the keto thing, okay, well that's not sustainable to me.
Yeah, I
What do you
mean,
think?
No,
you've
it's
got
not.
to have a healthy, well-balanced lifestyle. You've got to eat things. If you choose to be vegan, why are you being vegan, right?
I
If
don't
you
know.
have moral reasons,
Like why
to each his own.
but
People, animal rights and all of this,
oh
to each his
God.
own. If that's their decision, fine, but that doesn't mean that because they're not eating animal products, they're going to go and only eat bread and pasta. Well, then they're not going to be healthy. If they're doing it for health reasons, that's also different. You can still get protein from other sources, but you have to eat a shitload of it. So, I mean, it comes down to lifestyle and well
Yeah,
balanced.
peas have a lot of protein in them.
And most of the science behind a lot of the vegan stuff is different because you're cutting out certain food groups more so than you're eating vegan. That's one. Two, like she said, if it's moral reasons, yes. Like my sister doesn't want to hurt animals. My sister's vegan, but she does that not for health reasons because she sees the way these animals are treated. And that's totally understandable. And that's great. Then you can't get around it. You figure out a way to get your proteins. But the biggest thing she said is lifestyle. 1,000%. Because it's not going to happen overnight. Like I was 250, but that was almost 2 years ago. I didn't get down to 180 in fucking 1 year. I didn't lose 70 pounds in a year because I did some fad diet. I changed my lifestyle. There's a meme I shared that illustrates this perfectly. If your dog is overweight, you feed it less, play with it more. If your kids are overweight, you feed your kids less, you have them play more. When adults are overweight, we want every fucking fad that we can get our hands on, diet pills, and the next shortcut that's
Instant
available.
gratification, right?
Instant
Shortcuts.
gratification. Now, there is places, because I made a living off selling supplements, and there is places for supplements, but you still have to do the diet.
Mhm.
And when you're done, you still have to maintain the lifestyle. Just because you lost 40 fucking pounds is not an excuse to go eat like shit after, let's just put a reasonable number to it. Let's say you lost 40 pounds in 4 months, 10 pounds a month. That's pretty fair, right?
Yeah.
So, like, that's healthy. Then you go eat like shit, you're probably going to gain it back faster,
Mhm.
firstly. Secondly, why the fuck did you go through all that hard work for 4 months in the first place to lose the weight if you're not going to somewhat maintain it? Like, eat a pizza once a week, twice a week. Not pizza. I mean, I'll eat pizza twice a week. I got a fucking pizza tattoo on my leg. But like most people, eat a couple cheat meals a week that makes you happy and then watch everything else you eat. The diets are all bullshit. It's calories in, calories out, and it's consistency.
I couldn't agree with you
So
more.
the diets, they change every fucking year. Have you ever noticed keto diet? What the fuck was the
Consistency
keto
is
diet?
huge.
Consistency is the most important thing because I struggle with consistency. I gained like 5 pounds this month because I switched jobs and I was busy. But at the end of the day, I know what to do to get back to where I need to go. And consistency is key. I got inconsistent for like a month. I had a big life change and life happens. I only gained like 5 pounds in the past month. But some of these people let themselves go forever.
I mean, this year especially.
And then January
like,
rolls around.
Stress, all of
Boom.
that. People lose weight. They're stuck at home. They don't get their asses up.
Yeah, what have you seen with the COVID?
Mhm.
How bad have you seen it got as far as like your industry? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's really interesting. I've seen both sides of the spectrum. People sit at home and they get depressed and they get lazy and they gain a ton of weight. And then on the flip side, you have people who are like, okay, I have nothing else to do, then go out and run or learn a new skill or take care of myself and learn how to take care of myself and work out properly or get a trainer that I can trust to work one-on-one with because now I'm not around 100 people at a time. So interestingly, within our gym, personal training has stayed pretty consistent and has gotten busier at certain times because of those safety, comfort reasons. And
Be glad you're not in New York,
yeah,
or California,
Yeah.
or Ohio, or all these other
100%.
places. Yeah.
But at our facility, we can actually set it up in a safe way that people feel comfortable and they see exactly what's up. So it's been a weird year.
See, I think you need to have moderation. Not, you guys know more than me. I mean, this guy can probably whack somebody with his bare hands. You know how
Me
to.
too.
You too.
She'll
Right?
throw a kettlebell at their fucking dome.
There you
Yeah.
go. Exactly.
I told you, I'm not quite sure who I'm more scared of.
Hilarious.
Well, she's
But,
got weapons. I don't. So, like those things, those are hurt. I mean, I almost dropped one on my foot.
I'm not allowed to have
So-
one.
You're not allowed to have. I don't know if legally,
Yeah,
I don't think they would classify that as a weapon, but you can use anything as a weapon.
No,
I
I
mean,
could have
right,
that.
in theory.
Yeah, I'm allowed to have that. But see, I think it's like you do. Now, I'm not like as big as you, but so like 5 days a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays are my cheat days to shock the body, because the body adapts.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it works. Because before you were here and you could go to wherever you want, you were in the woods, so the body can adapt to anything. So if you keep eating low carbs and keto and shit, your body's going to adapt to that, and then it doesn't work anymore. But then when you hit that shock, and I think you'll agree with me, Ryan, then you shock the body and it throws everything off. And then you're on the, between me and you, because girls don't shit, you're on the toilet when you shock the body, right? And then that's when you shock the body.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
When you shock your
You don't
body.
do that kind
No,
of
I
stuff.
don't do that. But I'm saying energy level wise, all that.
The thing that baffles me is, I mean, it's crazy how everyone now in a world of instant gratification thinks things are going to happen tomorrow. Like when they gain the weight or when they get unhealthy or even when they get the disease, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, because there are some things that are genetically, like there's a ton of factors that go into it. You can't put a blanket statement to anything. But generally speaking, a lot of these individuals think that they're going to lose the weight quicker than they put it on, which is not true, right? And then like supplements and nutrition is very important, right? Nutrition's like 80% of it. Nutrition being not just supplements you consume, but what you feed yourself daily. And
I
then,
always tell people abs are made in the kitchen.
yeah, abs
not
are made in the
gym.
kitchen, and they're lost in the restaurant. But because every time you go to pizza places or anywhere, they always give you massive portions.
Yeah.
But and
That's
then supplements,
America. That's
like
an American thing.
yeah, and this is the way I describe supplements, right? Like let's say you're dieting and exercising, and you're losing 2 pounds a week, just hypothetically speaking, right? And you throw in like a fat burner, some carnitine, some CLA, some good supplements, right? They have some good studies, proper doses, which is a huge thing that a lot of supplements don't have is proper doses. And you throw that on top of that. So let's say your diet alone is losing you 8 pounds a month. Well, the supplements could double that if you're dieting and exercising. So a lot of more people will be much more motivated to lose 16 pounds in a month than 8. But the key thing there is you absolutely have to do the diet and the exercise, right? You're going to lose the 8 to 10 on your own. The supplements will accelerate those results, but you're already doing the diet and the exercise.
No, I agree with that.
And people tend to stick to that longer term because same thing, especially today, instant gratification. People want the fastest thing available to them, but you can't get around the fucking work and you can't get around the fucking diet. There's no way to do it. And actually, funny story. So when I was working at GNC, I was like 18. I became a manager at 18. I started working at GNC part-time at 17, and then I became a manager at 18 because I was actually really good at sales. And a customer came in. Do you remember where the Palm Beach Outlet Mall is now? I think it's that way. Sorry, I don't remember what direction. But the Palm Beach Outlet?
Yeah.
Palm Beach Lakes.
So so before that was there used to be a mall there that had a JCPenney, a shitty mall.
Oh, yeah.
It was hood as fuck, right?
Yeah.
That was
Good
my first
times.
management gig. That store was so ghetto, it closed. It was only open 11 to 7 because it was in the hood. They wanted you to leave before the sun went down. That's how
True,
shitty
it
it
was rough.
There was literally
there was a
cops.
lot of crime there.
I'm surprised they were able to put such a nice mall there.
Someone
But-
got killed in there. There was a murder in there.
Yeah, there was a murder. Oh, the murder. Oh, so the murder actually happened 2 months before I took that store over. Back in like 2007.
You remember this?
I covered it in the. I think it was just here. I think I just moved here. What year was it?
It was like 2007, right? Like 2006, something like that.
It was right before me because
Or maybe
we
2008.
did stories like after stories about they're gonna build, Yeah. But
Yeah. So this lady comes into the store, right? The Palm Beach Mall GNC was the first store when you walked in the door to the left, right? And she comes in and she goes, I need me one of these fat burners or diet pills I keep seeing the ads about. And I need something that's going to make me lose about 30, 40 pounds. And I need something that's going to work. And I want to be able to eat whatever I want, whether it's fast food, McDonald's, etc., because it's cheap and I ain't made of money. And I looked at her, I was like, I don't have anything for you. I could have sold her hydroxycut, some shit I probably made $5 or $7 on. But you have to tell people like it is. When someone says a statement like that, right? First off, she told me it wasn't cheap and she's not made of money. If some shit existed that literally made you lose weight and you didn't have to fucking do anything, it ain't going to be fucking cheap. So you already wrote that off right there, right? Like if something worked that well that you didn't have to do shit, you could sit around, not do anything, eat whatever the fuck you wanted, and you're going to lose weight. I mean, maybe there's some illegal stuff, but not something GNC is going to sell.
Probably T3 in that motherfucker.
Yeah. But
Side him out.
I told her straight up, I was like, I don't have anything for you.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna work. You have to do the shit.
You're lucky you got 5 to 7 because when I was working there, I got $3 on Xenadrine and I got $4.50 on anything Muscle Tech, and at the time, I got $5.50 on EAS.
Oh, Muscle Tech bumped up their shit. So
Well, I mean, this was 4 years before you.
when supplements were cheaper, and when they actually put real shit in their ingredients, that's the thing that's crazy. Is
They're
that
not put real shit in. There's very few. I heard. I don't know anymore because I ran away from that shit. But I heard Optimum Nutrition. Ever heard that one?
I think so.
I
Gold
heard
Standard
that's,
way? Yeah.
You know what that is.
Mhm.
I heard that's the best one right now.
Optimum does a phenomenal job with their commodity items. So like they make basic stuff, proteins, creatines. Their pre-workout's pretty basic. You're not really going to catch Optimum dabbling with any of the newer, more innovative stuff a lot because they do such a good job at being a brand that they're nationwide. They're not just in GNC, so they're in Vitamin Shop, other places as well. But they do a good job of being like that consistent, like house line that's, you're going to get, a standard product, but you're not going to get anything new, nothing edgy, nothing that is innovative really out of Optimum until it's been out for like 15 years.
You know what they remind me of? Like Apple.
Mhm.
Okay, so like Samsung will come out with a phone that you can fold, but it's not ready to come out yet.
Mhm.
But Apple will come out with the same phone that pretty much looks the same, but it'll be quicker. Like I got the mini because I got small hands. That doesn't mean anything, by the way. But they'll kind of come out with the same thing, but it'll be quicker and better.
Mhm.
And then while like Samsung's coming out with all the bullshit, they're getting that and they're figuring out how to beat it. Like they're supposed to come out with a car in 2022, which will probably be years after that, to compete against Tesla. But they have a prototype. They made a prototype. So now this one's supposed to get 2,000 miles to one charge. And it has a plug in the back of it where you can charge it in the car.
You know why I'm never buying a fucking Apple car?
I thought you had an Apple phone.
I have an Apple phone, and fuck that phone.
I'm not buying an electric phone.
You know
Or
why?
electric car.
Because now I have
I just said electric fucking phone.
I have an iPhone X. I have an iPhone X. Listen to this story.
Miss Greenbaum, I'm sorry. I should have
No.
listened to you in English.
I have an iPhone X, and the thing that sucks, they got sued. Remember, for every like 2 phones, they slow all that shit
So,
down,
yeah.
and they still fucking do it. My phone's tripping now that the iPhone 12 came out.
But you
all of a
can't
sudden-
knock them for that marketing.
Okay,
tactic.
but I don't want that for my fucking car.
Well,
Like,
I'm not buying the
oh,
fucking
2
car
year-
either.
2 years later, my fucking car, I need to go buy a whole new car because my car didn't update.
Yeah.
Like the fuck? A team Elon Musk all day, baby.
Yeah, no, I'm all Elon Musk, in my opinion, is the smartest guy on this fucking planet.
Oh,
I don't think
absolutely.
there's anybody even fucking close to him. What do you think?
I mean, that's a big statement. All I know, my brother worked there. My brother knows him, so
Your brother knows Elon?
I mean, he can't call him up, but he's had meetings with him, and he is a tough
Damn it.
guy to work for. That's for damn sure.
I know.
But he is absolutely a genius.
Ask Rob. We got a guy in here, John Boziak, and it was all fake paperwork. He worked there, mandatory, 12 hours a day. What was it, 6 days a week? 6 days a week.
Yeah,
But he paid.
It was
though.
pretty crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
I
not
remember
there
when I
any
was
longer.
part-time.
But
To me, this is just my opinion. Who the hell can send a rocket,
I know he's doing
all the way
crazy
up.
shit.
come back, and then you can reuse the motherfucker?
And you got the government pay for fucking like 80% of it.
I mean, and then
It's crazy.
and that's his rocket, the SpaceX. Then he's got the Tesla,
Yeah.
and then he's got the chip.
Yeah, he's gonna literally put
The
a chip in your
Neuralink.
brain, and he's digging
Neuralink.
tunnels, and he fucking sold flamethrowers. How do you sell? This is what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start making shit and then saying not a pre-workout. That
Yeah,
way I can get around every fucking law. And if someone takes it as
Yeah.
a pre-workout, takes pre-workout. He made a fucking company that said not a flamethrower.
yeah,
He sold like I think was it 5,000 of them or
yeah.
he only made
In
a limited
24
amount.
hours.
Yeah.
Like they were gone.
And he literally called it not a flamethrower. It's basically like a fucking tube attached to a
Yeah,
propane
yeah.
tank.
He
And
did.
it looked cool as shit.
No,
and
he
he
did.
sold
He
all
did
the
it on
flamethrowers.
Rogan. He did it on Rogan.
Yeah.
He brought one into Rogan, and if you watch it, I mean, if that's not a flamethrower, I don't know what the hell is.
Crazy.
But this thing was awesome.
And he called it not a flamethrower. What did he call it? Like a big ass lighter or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Like what was it
He,
classified as?
no, he
don't know.
classified it as an extreme blowtorch and put like statute
extreme.
5572, so they couldn't rock him for that. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Yeah.
There's a loophole for a lot of things in life.
Just like there's a loophole for supplements. And they lie about shit.
All the time, all the fucking time. Now, you said strongest
Strong,
first strongest first body weight in 1019.
StrongFirst. So
what does that
StrongFirst is the
mean?
organization that I got kettlebell certified in. And I've also recently taken a bodyweight course with them, just adding to my repertoire of knowledge. So they have bodyweight programming, kettlebell programming, and barbell programming. So it's just to increase my knowledge base and be able to work more with people and do more with people and help
You're
them
crazy.
achieve their goals.
Look at this shit.
So this is John and
I'm
Ryan.
not doing all that.
They own the gym.
Well, I'm not doing all that weird.
We do
Some
a
of
little
these-
kettlebell flow.
These movements, like they seem easy when they do them, but when you actually try to do them and you're not experienced, it's hard as shit.
What's that, Rob?
I said my arm would snap. Look at their fucking
No,
arms.
it
Look at
wouldn't.
this.
Oh,
It
Yeah.
feels like it would. She had me doing something where the thing was like up over my head. What was it?
Is
My
that
arm
you?
was straight.
Could
Sydney,
be
is that you
snatch.
behind them?
Yeah.
Play that again,
It's
Rob.
coming. It's going around again. Yeah.
Oh,
Crazy. Watch his arms. His arm looks like it's gonna freaking just come off his body.
I had to like hold it over my head, put my right leg the opposite way, and then like bend down.
It's
and-
like a
Watch
it's a
this.
snatch into an overhead squat.
I would not like to rip my rotator cuff,
Oh.
Sydney.
I wouldn't let you do that.
Although I do have the right thing to fix that without surgery, but
That's why you come and you work with
Which is
experts
actually
who are
illegal.
certified.
What's this one?
when
Oh
you-
geez, we're watching all my videos. This is snatch test. Oh yeah. So the snatch test
you're a fucking
is
beast.
100 single arm snatches in under 5 minutes.
You see this fucking broad?
Yeah. Well, this is
Holy fuck!
Obviously, this is sped up.
that up. But still.
Yeah, but it was under 5 minutes. That's what so for our kettlebell instructor test, I had to go through a series of skills tests at a certain weight based on my body weight. And once
Yeah, I was
I
gonna say.
achieved those, then I had to do the snatch test to get certified.
How many pull-ups can you do?
Are we talking kipping or strict? So this is a
I don't-
kipping pull up.
So I have a question about that right there.
Yeah.
What you're doing right now.
That's a kipping pull up.
Okay, I've seen people do this. My
Yeah.
question is it good for your joints? Like, is that movement, that jerk, and is that good?
I'm not a medical doctor, right? So I can't answer that. There are certain purposes for different things. So this is a gymnastics based movement. Can it be tough on you? Absolutely. Is it high impact enough that some people we instruct not to do it because they have shoulder injuries or issues? Absolutely. But if you perform it properly, it can be safe and it allows you to get a pull up when you can't do a strict pull up by kipping through it and utilizing your core and your legs and your hips.
That's a lot of jerking on your shoulders right there, though.
I've seen so many people do that. It's just like, oh my God. Like, it's crazy. That's awesome. I don't know how the hell you do that, but.
So I know I don't work with her, but like that's kind of the point of the things she does, like with the yoga.
Yeah.
Everything ties together.
Yeah,
right?
no, I get
Like,
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. It's hard for someone like me to go in there that's mostly used to lifting. Obviously, jiu-jitsu helps me a little bit, but then just people that lift. But all the stuff she does when you watch her Instagram, it all ties together.
There's some yoga poses.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's yoga.
So we call this a dond, D-A-N-D. So you're pulling through from down dog into up dog, and down dog and up dog are yoga poses. And then we can add more to this by bending the elbows and scooping through.
That's the one I thought was like the
Down.
worm. Because I saw, didn't you
Yeah.
just post that
Yeah.
recently?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
that?
Kinda
Down
like the
dog
worm.
dog into what? Down dog into up dog?
Down dog into up dog.
Well, listen
Yeah,
to
those
the
are the
Snoop
English
Dogg. Listen
versions.
to Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna make us do this.
There might be a little bit of that in there, but I'm not going to make you wear purple and smile.
Well, thank you for that part.
He can fit into the yoga pants. I can't.
Hey, well, fuck you, fuck you, asshole. I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, you
No,
guys will have to
ju-
come give it a
Don't
try.
tackle me. Just
I
kidding.
won't.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
You're going to have to give kettlebells a try. You're
If
going
he
to have
goes
to
and
come
he goes,
give
I'll
yoga
go.
a try.
I already did kettlebells. You're on your
He
own there,
did.
buddy.
He did.
No, I'm okay with kettlebells, but if you do yoga, I'll do it with you.
I'll do yoga.
Now, what are you doing with Palm Beach? You said you're a speaker with Palm Beach.
I've done a lot of things in the past. So in my past life, I was in the corporate world. I did marketing for law firms. I was the executive for a local 500 member legal organization. So through all of that networking and connections, I have been able to speak on health and fitness now that I've transitioned my career for the past few years. So I've given different talks on a webinar to Palm Beach County Justice Association. I worked with Palm Beach Shores and did like a health seminar as well as some group classes for some of their retirees. So I try to kind of get out there and educate the public as much as possible. If I can give you knowledge to help you lead a healthier, happier life, then I've succeeded.
Well, if you can get to that point where you're dealing with them, I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
But how did you get to that point where they would even listen to you?
You know, a lot of life is who you know, right? And like, networking, like Ryan said earlier, you know, people that he has worked with for a long time want to work with other people they know, like, and trust, and they know that they can depend on him and trust him. And so I have, fortunately, the same thing, that those that I've worked with in my past are super connected, and I keep connections with them, and they know that whatever I do, I give 110% to, and I'm passionate about it. I'm not going to bullshit you. And if I don't know the answer to something, I will say I don't know, and I'll look it up and I'll get you the right answer. So they have brought me in to do some of those things.
Yeah, like, it's funny. So her and I actually met through Ideal Nutrition. Because I did, what did I do, an event there or something? Yeah, I did an event. I passed out food, and I trained there, got my ass kicked for a class. And then now, like, same thing. I just met her earlier this year, and we've been friends, and, you know, we work together, and that's it. And the thing is, going back to like what I said earlier about having long-term friends and everything, just don't be a piece of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult. Like, treat people the way you want to be treated. One of my good friends has a tattoo that I wish I could copy, but like, I don't like to copy my friends. If it wasn't my friend, I might have got it. It says, be intentional. Right. And
that's so awesome. Our slogan besides DBLB is move intentionally.
I
It's
got here in
purpose.
Italian. I mean, in Italian, it means never give up.
yeah.
So I always knew what I would look here. You know, you always like touch your wrist.
Yeah.
So when things get tough, you just never give up.
Yeah.
What are you, a pussy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like, with being intentional, it's like, okay, well, if you're dealing with a salesperson, or if you're dealing with a trainer, or if you're dealing with somebody in your life, right? They could be good, they could be bad, they could be somewhere in between. But at the end of the day, you're going to benefit more long-term by treating them good. Because if you fuck them over, they're not going to give you references. They're not going to send other business your way. They're probably not going to come back, you know? So you want to treat them good. Be honest with them about the good and the bad. I mean, even if it's bad, tell them it's bad and tell them ways around it. Give them alternatives. You know, there's never one right answer to most situations. I mean, you know, you can always give them alternatives, work ways around it, never give up, right? Always kind of keep going through the bullshit, because it doesn't fucking stop. Bullshit's going to keep coming at you, and all you got to do is pivot and adjust and move in a way that everyone around you is going to appreciate you, and you're going to do right by them. And if you're in it for money, you can still make money, because you know what? Maybe you'll make a little less today, but most of those people will come back because they'll deal with other people that suck. It happens in business, happens in relationships, happens in friendships. They go someplace else, they realize they couldn't get fucking better, and they go back to you. Or like, your friends will go someplace else for business or nutrition, and they'll be like, damn, this brand sucked. You know, your girlfriend comes back because she couldn't get a better guy, right? They always come back if you treat them good.
Well, they always think that the grass is greener on the other side, don't they? Sydney?
Everyone thinks that. You think women are like that?
Fuck yeah. I think
when
women
I
are
did
like
the
that.
online dating app, how many dudes were on every damn thing?
I deleted
All
that
of
shit.
the apps. I was only on one at a time, but I'm off all
What
that
were you
stuff
on?
now.
What were you on?
I've done them all.
She just said-
Except farmers only. Not at the same time.
Damn, what the
just
fuck?
at
You swipe
different
left
moments.
on me? Fucked up.
No, I've been off for
no.
a while.
Farmers only.
Rob,
That's still a
what's
thing?
that one that everybody's
Christian
on?
Mingle,
Oh,
haven't
go
done that
fish.
one.
Go fish.
Plenty of fish.
Plenty of
that
fish.
one I did not do. I did not do. I
Oh,
did
my
Bumble.
God. Wow.
I did Hinge. I did
That was-
Tinder for a minute.
What's Bumble?
Bumble is the one where the girl has to reach out first.
That's actually funny. So this is great. This is going to be juicy.
Let's not go down
So
this
no, listen.
rabbit hole.
Bumble, right? Okay. Girls, you can look up, like, if you ever message girls on Tinder, right? You can't really say some basic shit. Most of these girls, especially if they're
Oh, God,
attractive,
here we
right?
go.
You have to come up with something a little funny, you know, a little lead in. But when you go on Bumble as a dude, and when the girl messages you, right? women have the worst fucking pickup lines ever. Like literally girls will message me, say hi or hey, and I'll be like, try again. Dot, 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 dot.
Is that what you said to
Oh,
him?
I'm a smart ass. I
That's
don't give
rude.
a fuck. Because listen, if I have to go on Tinder and try hard to get a girl's attention, because think about it. If they're hot and they swiped right on you, right? Like they're probably getting fucking 100 DMs, right? Girls get way more DMs than guys. Doesn't matter unless you're fucking Channing Tatum, okay? Girls always get way more DMs than guys. Even if you compare Channing Tatum to like Megan Fox, bet you Megan Fox's shit is blowing up way more. But that's because guys are conditioned to reach out, right? Guys are conditioned to be the one that does it first. So when you flip the script and you have the girls reach out first, right? They don't know what the fuck to do. They don't know shit. Like,
okay, so
they're
what
not
were you
trained
on?
for
Just
this.
give me one that you were on. That's your
I was
past-
on Bumble.
Okay, so now when you would, so now she has to contact you, right?
Mhm.
What would you, if you saw a guy that maybe you thought was interesting, how would you approach him?
So I'd always reached out based on something in their profile. I'd say something that we had in common. If they had a cool, you know, snowboarding picture or something, I'd be like, oh, I went snowboarding for the first time in February. You know, where'd you go? What did you think? Something to start a conversation.
Now, what would you say to that?
What do you mean?
Well, if she contacts you on Bumble and she says, oh, you went snowboarding, which I can't imagine you snowboarding, but
I actually have been snowboarding.
Yeah,
I suck at it. But
I'll tell you, when I tried to
fell
be
off the
like extra
motherfucker.
clever and cute, it didn't
fell
get
off
me
the fucking
anywhere.
thing.
well, when you just say hi, it's like, all right, what's up? Like the fuck, that's so boring. And that's why
Girls
actually,
don't like that shit from guys either. Hi,
No,
dot. What the hell
exactly.
are we supposed to say to that?
No, exactly. That's why I realized what it's like to be a girl through Bumble. Because I'm like, now I'm like, dang, like this girl just messaged me, said, hey. I'm like,
Yeah, girls don't like that shit.
But like, if say something like back, I mean, I would reply because I actually did, I think, have a snowboarding picture when I went to Vail, but I might have took it off. I put more pictures of me looking like a douchebag.
I got cocky and I was drinking that type of whiskey. I fell off the fucker and went down a whole damn like mountain.
Oh, this so
Yeah, I was all fucked up. And then I went back up, and where I was at, they had like you could snowboard and you could ski.
yeah.
And I went back on the ski lift. I fell off the fucking ski lift.
Oh,
It was-
my
yeah.
God.
It was-
So when I went,
you would have died laughing.
I went to
but-
Vail and we go to the top and it was me and my buddy Mark and my buddy Chris, right? We did like a guy's trip out to Vail to go snowboarding, and Mark actually just moved out there. So we go to snowboard. I actually had altitude sickness the first day because I'd never been. So
Oh, no.
Chris actually had a whole day of practice because he'd never been before, and either. But so the second day when we all went to the slopes, I never been fucking snowboarding. Didn't know what the hell to do. I didn't know you steered with your rear foot.
Me
Like,
neither.
I didn't know any of that shit. So
You
basically,
didn't take a lesson?
no, fuck no.
Oh, my
me neither.
God. No, you
I-
have
So-
to take a
And
lesson.
then
No,
so
I went there. I was just like him.
It's
I went
not
there.
being a baby.
No, but I was like, fuck that. I don't even know. Fuck. How hard?
Well, and how hard
can
is the snow gonna hit
yeah,
back?
Yeah, it's like
Oh, yeah.
how
But-
I just got to get the right slope. Fuck it.
yeah.
You know, and then
So we get down. So we get up. I played around at the top for like 10 minutes, and all of a sudden I thought I knew how to snowboard. You know, like the
Oh
top, they
my
have like the little
God.
warm up area.
yeah.
So I like go down. The best part about Colorado is you can go in literally like a hoodie and jeans because it's not humid out there, and it's like 30 degrees and
Jeans?
it's fine. Or like pants,
You
whatever.
can't.
But basically, like I start going down the mountain. And like my boys kept having to stop and wait for me because I kept falling and tripping, and like I'd get some momentum and like slide and like go face first in the snow. And then so they stopped. They're smoking weed, like hanging out because they're like, Ryan will be here in about a half an hour. And
Yeah.
we smoked a little bit. I take my foot off the snowboard because I didn't realize it was so powder. I'd never been out west. And I step down and my whole leg goes in the snow. My knee is at my face because it was still on the snowboard, and it dispersed my weight across that snow, right? So then we stop in the woods, we smoke a little bit, and same thing.
Bad
Then go
move.
back down. Yeah, I was high as shit on the second half. And then basically we go
I
down.
have no idea what he was doing. He's high as shit. Like, that's so
well, that's part of the
dumb.
reason because I was stressed out. I didn't know what I was doing. So then all of a sudden they start going their way ahead of me, and a snowstorm kind of starts creeping in. It started getting like rainy, right?
Oh boy.
And I got lucky. The gondola thing, I look over to my left, and the fucking gondola is like right there.
Gondola?
So gondola.
Gondola.
Listen,
that-
Kamala, Camilla,
Yes.
whatever, same shit.
What the fuck is that?
Gondola,
Gondola.
gondola. No, that's the thing you're talking about. The gondola, the thing that goes down, right?
Oh,
The
I
ski
don't know.
lift,
The ski lift.
basically, is
Oh, I
like
don't
It's
know
called a
those.
gondola.
the gondolas
also.
are the individual like
Yeah.
cars,
But
Yeah.
but
but there's
you,
no
but,
such thing as a gondola.
But so you know where they Sydney, you know where they mess with guys like me and him? You have like a little practice area, right?
Yeah.
You know, before you go on, And it's easy. You're like, I got this shit. You know, you fall off of it. It's not quite right. You're like, I'm ready to go.
Mhm.
You remember, like right there?
Yeah.
And they make it easy. Then you do it.
That's where we take lessons.
Well, dude,
That's where I
was
took
like,
a
I was
lesson.
like him. I was
I
Yeah.
waddled my ass over to the ski lift, right? I waddled like on the board because it was like the same height as me. I couldn't go any further down, or the same like altitude. And I go on there. I get on the ski lift. I go down, and at the bottom of the mountain, there's like bars and restaurants and like a really popular bar, like right at the bottom in Lion's Head. I think it's called Lion's Head or Lion's Den in Vale. And I'm down there. I beat them down there because I took the lift the second half of the way down the mountain. And I'm at the bar. I'm already drinking. And they're like, how the fuck did you get here? We said we were going to meet at the bar when we got
Yeah.
down there. They're like, how the fuck did you beat us here? And to this day, they still don't fucking know that
They
I rode the
know
gondola
now.
down. There's your juicy clip for this segment.
yeah.
Sorry.
But see, they because guys like me and him, we don't need this shit. And even when you go to ski, you have like this little area and you can practice, and it's easy. You're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, this is nothing. First time I skied, I was like, shit, this is no problem. Then you get on a hill,
Yeah. Way different, way scarier.
Once you start going full speed, you're like,
yeah, I
oh,
went
shit.
flying.
Yeah.
You're like
Yeah.
dodging trees.
Yeah, I'm like, because, and then there's like, have you skied before?
I've snowboarded.
Okay, well, I think it's probably kind of the same type of thing. So I have like a tougher one and like an easy one, and I'm doing good in like the practice area. So I'm like, fuck it. No, I don't want the expert one. I'm not ready for that. But give me the
Greens and the
higher
blues,
one,
the
higher,
blue.
because there's like a rookie one.
You mean the mountains, the greens and the blues? Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be caught on the rookie one.
No, I ain't going.
With all
Oh
the
my
little-
God, give me
with all
the
the
rookie one
12-year-olds.
all day
Yeah,
long.
yeah. Yeah, I go into a fucking rookie one. And then there's the medium one. And I'm like, fuck that. Because I'm doing good, shit ain't falling off. So I don't go to the expert one. I go to the third one, whatever it's called above that. I don't know what color the hell it was. Bad move. Went flying. And all you're worried, when you're going down that motherfucker, you see that fucking tree.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck. And you want to fall. But you're like, I'm a man. I'm not going to fall. I can steer this shit. And then the tree starts coming closer and closer. I'm going to fall.
That's the thing with snowboarding. You can just sit your tush down if you have to.
Yeah, just sit your ass down.
Yeah. Well, I went the
The
other
fatter
way.
you are, the faster you stop.
Yeah.
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 I went the other way. Now, you're a black belt?
In Taekwondo, yeah. When I was 8 years old, I got this black belt. And I still have some fun reflexes. My dad will like throw an arm at me and I'll just like block him
She
out
might
of
be able to
reflex.
beat your ass, bro.
Marcelo would say different.
I'm just,
A
I
blue
don't know-
belt,
I
a
don't
blue
know
belt
how
in
to-
jiu-jitsu is like a black belt in karate.
I didn't say that. He said
It was a
that.
long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I'm pretty scrappy, so we'll see.
You
I
seem
mean,
like
hey,
you have like that temper deep
You could
down.
come sign the waiver.
I'm a
you know
little
where
feisty.
Catch me at
He
the
just
armory.
asked
How
her
about
for a
that?
He just
Catch me
asked her for a
outside.
fucking waiver.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Hey, whenever someone tries to like fight me or like
I don't
argue with me at a
actually want
bar,
to fight him.
I said like sign the waiver, come to the gym. When I was at the old armory before it moved to the new facility, there was actually a kid, no lie. This kid I got in a big ass fight with was like hitting on my girlfriend. I told him sign the waiver. Ask Marcelo. I camped out at the armory for literally like the entire next day. It was like a Saturday. It was like a Friday night we went out. He was causing problems. We and him fought. He claimed that he would have beat me like one-on-one because it was like a brawl. There's like, I don't know, 10 people fighting. And we started it because of that. And then he's like calling me out, talking shit. And I'm like, bro, come to the armory. I'll be there. At the time, we had a cage and everything. And I didn't know shit. I was never a fighter. I never got into fighting. I just did jiu-jitsu and some stand-up on the side. But I was like, I already whooped your ass once, bro. Round 2, come do it. We'll put some cameras out.
It's
Marcelo
going to
hold
be a
the
little
phone.
bit tougher, buddy.
Yeah, Marcelo and I sat there for most of the day because
Your
Marcelo
guy-
had to
oh,
let me
your
in the
guy was
gym.
with you?
Huh?
Yeah, your guy was with you?
Well, yeah, but Marcelo's not going to do anything. If I get myself into some shit, Marcelo's not bailing me out. So if
Yeah.
I do something stupid, at that point, I'm on my own.
Yeah.
So he's not going to bail my ass out.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And you said that you were in legal marketing.
Yeah,
Maybe that's where Mr. West got this whole cop thing from.
maybe.
But what's legal marketing?
So I went to school for journalism, got a journalism degree after college.
Yeah, what'd you do with journalism? I wanted to ask you about that.
What did I do with it?
Yeah.
I thought that I was going to end up developing and running my own magazine. So that's why I went into journalism. And now I use it for all the marketing for the gym that I do. After college, I got into internet marketing. I was writing press releases, doing all that stuff independently. and then eventually worked for different individual law firms and was the marketing director for that firm. So I did things like write radio commercials, produce TV commercials. I handled website development. I did social media. I wrote blogs, like you name it, anything kind of within the realm of journalism, marketing, creativity, like I handled that stuff. And after that, I had a little stint at Whole Foods Market, which is where my passion for health and wellness and nutrition really began. And at the time, we now know that Amazon was kind of coming through and making those changes. So they were cutting budgets and laid off all in-store marketing. I was running the marketing team at the Palm Beach Gardens store. So at the time, every store had its own marketing team, which was super awesome. I loved my job, but got laid off. What are you supposed to do? So got back into legal. And through that, I ended up being the executive director for the legal organization, Palm Beach County Justice Association. And so I did so much more than marketing there, but I was able to hone my skills for running a business. And when I realized that that wasn't the end all be all anymore, now I have the skills to run my own business. It's just a different kind of business. So
now you can lift those things and do those kind of pull-ups, and you've been in the legal world.
Yep, I got a lot of connections. Watch out.
I'm not quite sure who's more scary.
Not a cop,
more
but if
scary
I
to
was
fuck
in
your life up.
trouble,
yeah.
I know who to call.
He'll just kill your ass.
Well, no, yeah.
You'll just torture.
More scary to
Yeah.
fuck your life up, more scary to fuck your day up.
Yeah.
How's that?
You'll fuck my day up.
don't burn bridges
She'll
in this
slowly
town.
torture me. Is what she'll do.
Exactly.
And then Amazon came in, and
Yeah.
because Whole Foods, they were so expensive, and then I forget what the guy's name was, but
Jeff Bezos?
Well, no, that's
Amazon guy?
Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but there was another guy that was the president of
John Mackey?
John Mackey.
Yeah.
And then the deal was he had to sell like 15 of the chains. And then they made the deal with Amazon, and that's what kind of brought them back, right?
Yeah. So I was laid off 2 years prior to the Amazon buyout. So I'm assuming that's when all of the budget cuts and stuff started, because they were cutting budgets nationwide, but especially in Florida. So the first thing that go is marketing. And so they, it was a tough experience. I had never been fired, let alone laid off. And, you grow from those tough experiences. And now we know it's because of Amazon, and now Whole Foods is more accessible to me as a regular person. So it's probably for the best in the long run.
Instacart, they're with Amazon. Yeah, I mean, they bailed them out.
Yeah.
Whole Foods was dead.
I don't
Well, I mean, not
know.
dead, but I mean, they did what they had to do to survive.
Yeah,
I think,
with times changing, it was tough to be the premium. The hard part for me, seeing the back end of things, is that now the company is so corporate that there's less of that customization, that local loyalty. We had a private room where we'd teach health and wellness classes to the public for free. We would allow people to sample things right off the floor, like so cool and special. That's why it was premium. A lot of that stuff everybody didn't know about unless they were exposed to it. So, whatever, it's in the past.
So I would revert that back to what you do with insurance, because now corporate has basically taken over Whole Foods, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. And I mean, corporate has taken over, whatever you want to call it, health insurance forever.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you go to the private insurance like you're doing, I would assume, I don't know, you're teaching me that there's a big difference.
Well, yeah, insurance is even more heavily regulated than Whole Foods. Literally.
Yeah. I'm just saying that there's a comparison that you can make to the two.
Insurance and financial products are probably some of the most heavily regulated, and rightfully so, right? Because you don't want someone fucking around with your money, or your potential, insurance or anything like that. So, regulation to a sense is a good thing. You want to be regulated in something like that. Some regulation, not too much. I'm like the tale of two extremes, right? Supplements are not regulated at all. They only ban shit if they find it to be harmful, or even if they think it's harmful. And then insurance is totally regulated. So when I first started doing insurance, I was asking my buddy Matt, who got me the job, every 5 minutes, can I say this? Can I say that? Can I say this? Because he'd been doing it for a while. And I had no idea what it was allowed to say, because my first week there,
that
I was
HIPAA shit, serious.
Yeah,
that's serious shit.
Because you have to be careful, man. You can barely I don't even think pushing it here. insurance is, you know,
We're-
very
we're-
private,
we're very
so-
careful.
yeah, we have to be because
If you would like to get possibly good insurance policy, contact my man right here.
yeah,
You
no,
know?
I got you. Listen,
Yeah.
the insurance is great. Like if
Yeah.
I had to purchase insurance, I would purchase the plans we have. You
Yeah.
know, if I had to buy my own. So
I believe that. I don't think you're just saying that for
Yeah.
money.
because at the end of the day, you want to feel protected,
Mhm.
right? That's the moral of the story. That's why you buy insurance. You don't buy it, you know, because you expect to use it. You buy it in case you need to use it. It's there for you to support you, to take care of you, to take care of your family, you know, to make sure that if you actually need to use it, you have access to it. Because the last thing you want is a massive bill that you can't afford, or even if you can't afford it, it's a big chunk, you know, or it puts you out of work or whatever the case may be.
And, you never know what's going to happen.
You never know
know
what's going to happen.
And then you could
It's
have
that
a
peace of mind.
huge bill, and then you got to get a credit guy. You
Yeah.
have a
And it's
credit-
kind of like,
I
you
got
know,
a percentage in the credit company, by the way.
yeah. And same thing,
Rob
I'm
can tell you
going to have
that
to
they're
talk to you about the CBD payment processing.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But-
I'm going to get to that
but-
quick.
But basically, you know, you don't want to ever use insurance, but you want it to
Yeah.
be there in case you need it. Because as soon as
Yeah.
you need it, you're going to wish you had it.
Yeah.
Does that make
agree with
sense?
you. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
So I highly recommend that everyone has insurance on anything that's important to them. Not health insurance. This is a
In general.
general statement.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to wreck your car and then wish you had insurance
yeah.
because you can't fucking get insurance after you already ran it into a pole. Same thing with your body. You know, something happens, you want to make sure that you're taken care of. That's it.
Mhm.
Especially if you have a family, you know?
Especially if you have a
Yep.
family and your kids. Like get insurance on your kids.
Yeah.
Why would you not? You know, what if something happens to your children?
Well, sometimes people don't think like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
You know,
yeah, 'cause-
because they're dealing with some schmuck that's talking for 3 hours about this and that, and then there's a huge deductible like we were talking about earlier, and then you're just turned off by it, and you're like,
Well-
well, fuck it, I'm not sick. What the fuck? I mean, that's how I was. I was like, well, I never get sick.
Mhm.
I can't tell you the last time I had a cold, but I take vitamins.
Mhm.
I run every day. I sit in my infrared sauna, which you should get,
Mhm.
and you know, I sweat everything out.
But think about how many people are reactive and not proactive.
Right.
Right.
I
Like,
agree with you.
With fitness, with insurance,
Yep.
with everything.
100%.
Everyone wants to react as soon as something goes bad or they have a reason to.
Yeah.
Right. And then if they would have thought about some of these scenarios, whether it's their health or whatever, many things in their life, retirement, right? Like what was the statistic that you might not have read this, but like there was a study that was so many like millennials don't have any retirement savings.
I'm sure it's a lot.
Like it's
Yeah.
hard to understand. Like if you looked at my checking account, you would probably think I was broke as fuck because most of the money, like I have a large percentage of my check that automatically goes into my savings.
Yep.
Right. So I don't see that money. My checking account is literally just spending money. That's it. And I want to retire one day. Like, and there's multiple ways to do it. You could save, you could start a business and generate a bunch of cash flow. Right. There's a whole bunch of ways to do it, but no one thinks ahead.
You should also get a living will if you have any assets.
Yeah.
do
Living
that.
will if you have any assets or kids.
Yeah.
So definitely have a will, but I don't have a will right now because I don't have anything. I rent. I don't believe in buying, so I rent. So I don't think it. I think it's stupid as fuck to buy a house. So
Well, that's a conversation for another day.
yeah, well, it's a totally different story.
right,
Because when you buy a house, I think that you can use that money a lot of other ways if you're going to buy a house. And instead of racking up debt, because unless you have the money to pay for the house cash, you're going to be taking out a mortgage. You're going to owe the bank. The bank owns the house. You don't really own the house. So when you take out a mortgage, I wouldn't buy a house. If you can buy a house cash, great. But a mortgage, no.
Yeah, but you're also building your credit. I mean, look, conversation for another time.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I don't
yeah.
have as much time to get into
Yeah.
that right now.
What is an FSG1?
So, SFG, StrongFirst. So, Gira is the name for kettlebell. So that's my kettlebell instructor certification. So there are 3 levels, and I'm the first level. Which after first level, you just build upon that with super cool, heavy shit that you can do. But the foundations are really all that you need.
How many levels are there?
I believe there's 3.
And you're at 1?
Yeah,
Damn. And you're tiny.
I am, but I'm stronger than I look.
How the fuck is she doing this that tiny?
What do you mean?
She's
I can do
pretty
a lot
strong.
of things. I'm pretty strong
Listen,
for my size.
I don't want any problems with you.
Come Come throw around some kettlebells with us. I'll show you what's
see,
up.
look at them lats.
I told you, if these guys
She's
go,
got
I'll
lats bigger
fucking
than
Let's
you.
go. Let's go.
I'm even wanting to do fucking yoga.
Good. I
You know how
love
against
it.
yoga I am?
I see it.
I don't
see
want to
it.
say on camera what I think, but
Thank
I'll
you.
do it if
All I ask is
these
that you
guys
come
go.
with an open mind.
hey,
That's
look,
it.
my account
I wouldn't
does it.
steer you wrong.
My account's a monster. If he
There
does
you
it,
go.
you know, I mean,
Bring him
maybe,
too.
maybe if he goes and he goes, I'm there.
All
I'll
right.
go.
Good.
I'm down for yoga.
I'll make it happen.
Because honestly, it'll help me in my training. So I even looked at like GSP trains gymnastics. I would do gymnastics, yoga, whatever
Yeah.
helps your training. Because yoga, long-term health.
I want to learn how to do a backflip.
Think about your joints.
That I couldn't teach you how to do.
No, but tell them how effective yoga is for your joints too, like long-term. It's good
Oh,
for your
yeah,
tendons. It's good for
completely.
everything.
Yeah,
All the
explain,
things.
explain that, and then promote what you got going on.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's so simply you can put your legs up the wall for 2 minutes a day and it helps your blood pressure, right? Like little things like that will help you overall to live a healthier, longer life. It's going to lower your blood pressure. It's going to give you a healthier, happier mindset. It's going to give you endorphins so you feel better and have more energy. That works with any sort of physical activity, but yoga especially because there's this separate mindset too. There's breathing that's connected. When
Yeah,
you
they say
activate.
there's like a aura,
Huh?
aura, aura.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like a, what am I trying to say?
Aura, like energy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
aura.
like your vibe.
Yeah. What about it?
Like when you do yoga, you get an aura, right?
Like it
Is
helps
that
your
what the-
mood. It reduces your releases. Can't even speak right now. Releases your
Endorphins.
endorphins. Makes you
Yeah.
feel happier.
Yeah,
Makes you
all
feel
the
better.
things.
You get better energy. That's like everything that we do though.
Right.
Like that's kind of how this whole thing tied together, right?
Yeah.
Like I do a lot of the business stuff. She does some business stuff as well. She interacts with people way more than I do, like we talked about earlier. But
I
at
hate
the end of the
people.
day, all these people,
You say you hate people?
I hate people. Yeah.
like
Shit.
consistency and making sure that you're balanced because you want to enjoy life. I mean, no one's going to stick to things if they don't fucking
Right.
get some time to enjoy it.
I think my mic is off.
Hold on.
He cut you out.
difficulties. It's okay.
He doesn't know which button to push.
Am I on?
Mic 3.
Am I on?
There we go.
There we are.
Mike 7.
That happens. It
Leave it
happens.
on. It happens. Fuck it.
You shut me out already.
No, I didn't shut you
No,
out.
I mean, like Ryan
fucking-
said,
I was trying to do it without looking, but
all good.
not a good idea. From now on, I'm just gonna look.
No worries.
But it's natural. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I think that balance and consistency are the major things. If you are only lifting heavy weights with a barbell all the time, then you're not going to be balanced. You have to counter that with stretching before and after, or doing yoga, or throwing something new into your palette, right? So you become stronger and well balanced that way. Consistency, again, you get stronger and you stay happier that way. If you take time off, it does affect your brain. Without the endorphin releases, you will feel depressed. That's why people started feeling depressed when they couldn't get out and get to gyms at the beginning of COVID. So all the gyms help people.
I think that was the worst thing they
Yeah,
could
it was
possibly do
tough.
is because they're saying like you need to keep your body strong, everything strong, but then you close the gyms, but then you
Right.
can go eat. And then what they did in these
Yeah.
asshole states like California and New York, they said, okay, well now you can have outdoor dining. So now these places that were already getting crushed, right? They built outdoor dining. Now they shut that down.
Right. They shut everything down again. Yeah.
I mean, how much the fuck do you think it costs to build outdoor dining, and then you can't have anybody within a certain amount of feet of you in these states, and then you shut all of it down, and
Yeah.
then you want to
Yeah, it's rough.
raise taxes, oh,
All the
Jesus,
things,
Don't
yeah.
even get me fucking started.
Yeah, and you have to stay active because if you don't stay active, it does affect your mood. I mean,
100%.
you have to, it helps your focus. It helps everything. Like when I start my day with a workout, I mean, most people aren't going to do the psycho shit I do and wake up at 5, 6 a.m. every day. But even if you work out after work, you feel better. You release those endorphins. You get that stress out that you just had all day at work, right? And then you know, even if you don't really need to lose weight, go do some cardio, listen to a podcast, get your mind right.
Yeah, it makes you
Right?
better. Gives
Like-
you more energy. Just it's so simply. I prefer working out in the morning too because it sets me right for the day. Then I'm eating properly because I feel a sense of responsibility to myself, and I have energy for the day. So I get it. I'm with you.
Yeah, I do like the treadmill with Andy Frisella on for like a half hour, and I lift before
I
that.
put on 2 waist trimmers.
Yeah.
Then I put on a sauna suit. Then I put on 3 sweatshirts, jogging pants.
Do you put on blood flow restriction bands too and everything like that?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shit's got to be illegal.
You're that dude. You see that meme? It's like when you download every DLC in the game. That's him in real life.
Yeah, but you know what though? You sweat like crazy though.
Yeah.
You get all of it out of it. And then I take it off and I go in the sauna, but I keep the sauna suit on, all the sweatshirts.
It's
Sweat like
intense,
crazy.
man.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, believe me, at 20 minutes, I'm looking at that clock and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is a long 20 minutes here.
But you know what? You do it consistently, right?
I
And
do it
you
every
feel
single
good.
day.
Yeah.
Every single day.
And you know, both of those things, that's why I also believe in one-on-one training because then
Yeah.
you have an accountability coach, and like for me in my case, I can customize exactly what I'm doing, when I'm doing that with that person, what they're eating, all of that, so I can help them achieve their goals. And it's not always weight loss. Sometimes it's just I need more energy, or you know, I have moms who, I don't know if you've ever heard of a diastasis recti. It means when your abs separate when you have a baby. It's very common, but there are ways to work that back together. And so you have
Wow.
to be consistent. And
What's that called again?
diastasis recti,
Wow.
DR, diastasis, you know, we
yeah.
have many
I'm
names
sure
for
there-
it, but it's
a lot of moms
intense.
are going to be contacting you. Is that
Yeah,
is
that
that,
would be
is that like
amazing.
the skin that like doesn't tighten up quick enough? Because you know your like
so-
skin's elastic.
Right.
You're right. So
But
it takes
it
time for it
generally
to go back.
looks, yeah. So when somebody has a DR, if it's a big enough separation, because their muscles can't work and activate, they will literally cone, and so it looks as if they're pregnant again in a lot of cases.
Oh wow.
So there are exercises you can do to re-strengthen and rebuild all those muscles back together. You know, but somebody working out on their own or working out in a class might not be moving properly and might be exacerbating it. I mean, that can be fixed years and years later. People live with that for years. It's crazy.
After this, I won't keep you guys captive anymore. But what is a libertarian?
So
Ryan, go for it.
libertarianism is basically meaning that you are socially Democrat and fiscally Republican, meaning like you're
Good
somewhere
summary.
in the middle. Like
I
you
have
believe,
no idea what you just said. That's
I
like
believe in all the social-
Chinese to me.
I believe in the social goals of Democrats, but I believe in the Republican goals of anything related to the economy or gun control or law, right? Meaning like small government, gun control. Ultimately, it's the right of the person to choose. Like the easiest way to summarize it is basically say that it's up to you to make your own decisions. It's up to you to make your own decisions. And the goal is we can all be friends. And as long as we don't hurt or step on each other's toes, that's libertarianism. It's not my place to judge you. It's not my place to judge you. It's not your place to judge me. And I wouldn't give a fuck anyways because it's me. But like, moral of the story is you let people make their own decisions and you have small government. Let gays marry and keep taxes low, right? Because it's their decision if they choose to be gay.
Wasn't
Not
that,
mine.
Isn't that
It's
your
not my place.
Isn't that your amendment right though like your freedom?
Well, yeah, but like gay people, for example, couldn't marry until what, recently?
Recently.
Like it wasn't that long ago. They're like,
Yeah.
who cares if you're gay? Great. If you're gay, go be gay. All
I
you
don't
should
care.
be concerned with in life is the pursuit of happiness. Everyone has different things that makes them happy. For me, I love training jiu-jitsu. I love working out. I love my job and staying focused on my career. For her, same thing. She loves the training she does. It might not be something that I would do every day because there's only 24 hours in a day. I'm not going to sacrifice jiu-jitsu to go do kettlebell workouts. But it fits in my lifestyle. She works with her people for their health. She also has her own business that she does, right? I have my own things that I do. But at the end of the day, it's up to me to pursue what makes me happy. It's up to everyone else to pursue what makes them happy. And it's not the government's place. It's not your place, Rob's place, or Sydnee's place to tell me what makes me happy. It's not my place to tell any of you what makes you happy.
That's a great point.
So,
That is a great point.
and that's the problem with government today.
That is the best thing you've said.
Well, the problem with government today is they want to tell everyone what the fuck to do. And same thing with COVID. If we would approached it from a choice of the government educating us, I mean, granted, this is limited information because it's new, but let people make their own choice. As soon as the information is out, release the truth. That's the problem with this is I don't think that there's the truth there. And I'm not going to go to the politics rabbit hole tonight, but like
Another time.
Another time.
Another time.
But-
Another time.
but-
I'm
but
way
like-
past my bedtime at this point.
Okay,
But
I'll
like-
get you out of here.
but like basically, you know, it's up to us to make our own decisions. Like we're not fucking stupid. As a society, maybe there are people that make dumb decisions, you know, but we should be able to kind of govern ourselves and live a fulfilling life at the same time.
Are you libertarian too?
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah,
are.
I mean, what he just said makes a lot of fucking
Well, because
sense.
Yeah.
I don't go there and pitch libertarianism. This is
Yeah.
probably the most intense thing that I've pitched or most pitching I've ever
But
done
I
on
don't
it.
think like
but-
me, like I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
You know, like when you say libertarian, I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah,
But
but-
when you take the word libertarian out of it, or Republican, or
That's
Democrat,
the problem. Everybody wants to make it black and white. You're
Right.
this or you're that. It's like, why can't you be a believer in running your own small business and being in charge of that, but also love all people and let them do what they want to do?
Mhm.
So when you take those words out of it, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think a lot of people are that. Just
Yeah.
the titles around the circle, you know, you tend to go one way.
Yep.
We're,
So I-
we're conditioned to think that it's either Republican or Democrat.
Yeah.
Most people don't know what the fuck it is. And there's never been a strong libertarian candidate. Gary Johnson last election was the
Mhm.
closest one, right? He got, I think, like 3 or 4 or 5% of the votes. I don't know. He was a really low number, but it was still the highest a third party had gotten, like ever. And that's the thing is everyone believes that you have to pick one way or the other, even when they don't really fully agree with that candidate.
They just don't have the juice behind them.
There's actually a good
There's too much
website.
power.
Rob, can you see if this website is still up? It's called ontheissues.org. This is interesting because if everyone chose, this is as far political as we get, just based on the issues that they're passionate about,
I think I've seen this before.
.org. I think it's still
Ryan's
up.
the king of rabbit holes, isn't he?
Well, no, this
No.
is it. But like this, so this will
When you
list.
come back in again, I want to go through the supplement thing
Yeah.
because it's past your bedtime.
Well, I'm gonna bring Drew with me
Sorry.
It's
next time.
starting to scare me.
Shout
Sorry.
out to Drew Peters.
Shout out to Drew Peters.
I'm gonna bring him
See
with
you
me
soon,
next
buddy.
time. We're gonna blow this shit up. But this is cool. I don't know why it still says 2016. Are we in 2020? Yeah. What the fuck is going on here? Maybe they haven't updated it. I don't know. But this used to be a good website. I was actually introduced to this website in college. Maybe there's similar ones out there. If there is, anyone that wants to comment, you know, definitely let us know. But this lets you actually do a quiz. There's a spot on here you can do a quiz, and then it blindly matches you with the political candidate that
this
most
is
closely
great.
fits your views. And it tells you what views they're closest with and what views they're not. So like if you decide that maybe, okay, this view is more important or this view is not, you can like eliminate or go to the second or third candidate you're closest with,
and
whatever.
that's on the issues
.org.
.org.
And I don't get paid for this site. I haven't even
Yeah.
pulled this site up probably since college. That's why I didn't even know if there was 2016 or not. But because I didn't need it for these past few elections. But if I was confused or if I didn't know where people stood, they supposedly update this every election. So, but it's an interesting website. There's a quiz. Go to the top. Oh, presidential match quiz. That's the button. I don't know why the hell it still says 2016.
Yeah, there's all kinds of 2021, whatever. They probably just.
That's weird. Maybe they didn't update the link. I don't know. But that's the quiz. I was given that in college, and I thought
Cool.
that was an interesting resource.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Go to Ideal Nutrition.
oh yeah, I forgot. We had that
Yeah.
them up there the whole time. So, back to fitness, back to nutrition, off to politics, right? This is the meal prep company that I've worked for majority of this year, right? And it's so simple. It is the easiest, most practical thing you can ever think about in your life. One, the food is amazing.
Yeah, this updated website is a lot nicer.
The updated website's a shit ton better.
You know, I
Like,
built websites, and that green is
Well,
good. It's easy to catch.
Yeah, the
you
owner
know?
of this
I
company
like that
spent a
green.
ton of money on this site finally,
Right.
because the old site was built
All
on some
natural
ghetto
seed,
platform.
yeah,
Go up. Oh, the chicken Caesar wraps finally
Yeah.
out too.
So,
So,
I would eat that.
so I used to go to kitchen meetings and actually suggest menu items and recipes. The chicken Caesar wraps one of mine, but he makes some really good food. Now it's a piece of cake to order. The site before was a little bit confusing, but now this new site guides you through the total like process in one easy step. It doesn't let you accidentally select a negative item. Like we had a big problem with that. People could accidentally type a negative in front of it, and then it would like look like -2, and it would take it off their total.
What
It
is
would mess it up.
ketogenic chicken cordon bleu? You ever hear of that, Sydney?
Only from here.
What the hell is that?
It's high fat cordon bleu. So we put a bunch of cheese sauce, cheese, and broccoli. No real carbs. So, you know, something that's going to be low carb, high fat, that's going to fit a keto diet or someone could take with a keto diet.
So there's everything on there to pertain to whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah,
Basically.
whether it's vegan, vegetarian, they have the menu icons, which basically lists it. So back to like what her and I were talking about is consistency. This makes it really easy to be consistent. The meals are $7. It's a piece of cake, right?
Yeah.
You literally cannot like mess it up.
And yeah, and there's a code. I think it's code RED.
My code is Red 10. So if you want to use
Yeah.
Red 10, I mean, I don't get paid. They don't pay us on that, but
Then fuck them.
no,
Don't-
but
don't-
that doesn't matter because the company
Okay.
is good. When the meals are $7, you can't really discount it much more.
Yeah.
Because if you look at every other meal prep company, the cheapest one I found other than this that I can remember was like $10 per
Yeah.
meal after.
And free delivery too, right?
Free delivery, local.
Yeah, you can't really beat
If
that.
you do the weekly meal plan where you get it auto delivered, and it's a piece of cake because if you do auto delivery, if you forget to order, you get it sent. The only downside is yes, you might have to forget to cancel, but you will automatically have your food show up. So if you're trying to stay on track, it's going to show up regardless.
But
you're-
you can cancel if you want to. It's not like a whole headache to cancel it.
No, if you contact them, you can literally hit that chat button. Well, right now it says email us, but when there's a chat
Yeah.
there during hours, they'll cancel it. You can email them. You can text anyone there. Like you can go in your account and cancel or pause it if you need to go out of town. Whatever you want to do, you can contact them. You can go to your account. It's a piece of cake to operate the new website. I'm still getting used to it because I was so used to how difficult the old website was.
Yeah, you got tradition. Sydney, you could pronounce that better than me.
What
how do you
what are
say
we
it?
looking at?
Paleo?
Paleo.
Paleo?
Paleo? I don't
Paleo
know
is like the
how that-
caveman diet. And they're going to.
It's the what?
So now that this website facilitates all these different diets, the website
Yeah.
before was limited, right? This new website, we can add more diets, like Whole30 is a popular one. There's a lot of diets you can add, but at the end of the day, consistency is the most important. The subscription helps you stay on track. At the end of the day, if you can't cook, if you're busy, if you have a lot going on, this is a great option. And honestly, I've been eating the food like before I even worked there. When I worked for Bang, that's how I met them. So same thing, going back to relationships, right? Like I met the owners through Bang Energy. We had a good relationship. When I was laid off, when COVID hit earlier, when all the gyms shut down and I was selling supplements, I reached out to Matt, who is one of the guys who helps run the company. Awesome dude. Wolf, the other owner, awesome guy. And they literally hired me like on the spot. I didn't even really technically interview. Like I kind of went in for an interview, but you know, I took care of them for so many years. So they already kind of knew how I was as a sales rep, right? And then they knew with their customers what I were getting into when they hired me. So they knew I would take care of their customers, right? And the company, they've treated me well. They've been good. They always try to do right by the customer whenever there's a situation.
The food looks
mean,
good.
They're a great
food's good.
company. Their customer service is great. I actually used them way before I knew Ryan.
Oh, you use them
When
too?
I was training for my kettlebell certification, I had to train for 3 months and I had to put on 5 pounds of weight in order to do what I was doing. So I literally ate my face off in a healthy way and just had them sending me meals. So I knew I was eating as much as I had to train and to put on weight. And then I was able to bring them to my 3-day certification. My hotel had a microwave and a fridge. And so I brought all my meals on the plane and I mean, they made life easy.
Now,
for
when
sure.
you order, how long does it take to get to you?
So the week resets every Friday, right? So Friday is the cutoff to get food the following week.
I see.
So it just kind of keeps resetting every
Yeah.
Friday. So you have to get your
Yeah.
order in Friday if you want it the next week. We
Gotcha.
get a lot of people that want like Wednesday deliveries, then want to order
Yeah,
like Sunday.
well,
We're like, dude, we can't
you're
do it
not
that way.
fucking
You can
Amazon.
Because we have to order all the
delivery
food,
day.
but
Yeah.
you choose your delivery dates. So for Palm Beach, it's Sunday and Wednesday, and for Broward and Martin counties, it's Monday and Thursday because we have to make our drivers able to kind of have a full-time job. So 4 days a week, so we split all the drivers up. But what I was saying about the promo code was I used my own promo code 84 times. I've known them; they've only been in business for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So out of 104 weeks, I ate there 84 of them. That was before I worked there. And I
Yeah.
still eat there. The food's literally sitting in my fridge right now. Like after I'm done, I'm probably gonna go eat the chicken parm or something because I'm craving pasta right
Now
now.
go to his Instagram, even though we already saw it. And yes, we know. Don't fuck with him.
That's me in the office at Ideal.
Yeah. Yeah. Beast.
But like, oh, actually,
I-
funny story. Go up really quick. Go to the Finish Life tab at the top. Click it. Can you click that or no? Don't worry, there's nothing bad in there. Keep going. Just clicking through. Right there. Look, 135 weeks ago, Ideal Nutrition Chicken Parm. 135 weeks. So if you
Wow.
think I'm bullshitting, they weren't paying me to say that.
Yeah.
But the food's good. It's practical. It shows up to your house on time every week. I mean, they are human. Once in a while, there's mistakes. Usually if there's a mistake,
Yeah.
usually if there's a mistake, it's a recurring account issue or something that needs to be fixed. So, but the food's awesome, and
And then go
is
to the
easy.
Facebook. Same thing. Go to the next one.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Oh, this is me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is you. Talk about this.
I mean, this is how my fitness journey started a few years ago. I was working for the legal association and kind of realized that I was at the top of my career and, you know, I just wasn't fulfilled. I didn't love what I did. I supported people who helped other people, but I wasn't actually helping the world in any way. So I started a health and wellness blog and just started talking about the things that I loved and started researching about nutrition and different types of movement. And that got me, you know, it was just a domino effect really from there. I got my yoga certification. Through yoga, I met the guys that I work with now, and then I got my kettlebell certification. So it all kind of started here, and there's a lot of cool content, blogs on there, and I need to do a lot more updating on it to where I am now, but I updated my bio, and this is just my personal website, how to find me, and how to get in contact with me, and some also some great tidbits of info.
that baby eats ideal nutrition. That's why he's so jacked and ripped.
Yeah.
Is that from Wynwood Walls in Miami? That picture?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I remember
Yeah.
seeing that. That's a dope
at
photo.
the top, yeah.
Or dope
I
graphic.
guess I need to update my IG feed. Oopsie.
Yeah, and like when you eat healthy, like what do you have in the healthy eating tab? Click that tab.
All kinds of blogs on healthy eating. So like I have a lot of like, you know, kind of cheats on like instead of ice cream, go for frozen mango chunks because you get the sweet and you get the cold and you get the crunch, but it's healthy. So like life hacks, I've got some of that stuff. I did like a celery juice cleanse and talked about it, you know, and gave some science basis, but also some personal experience. So that's what all this fun stuff
So
is.
when you say it's kind of like to get the niche out of your mouth, like if you're in the sweets, right? Like you make it so like you fulfill that craving.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Just gave some kind of alternatives, healthy alternatives to like some of our worst, best cheats. Yeah. Potato
Yeah.
chips.
And then it just fulfills
chocolate.
your craving, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
basically
In
what it does.
theory.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then go to the next one.
This is Kaizen Fitness Systems. This is our gym that I was talking about in Jupiter. There's a nice group photo from last year's Christmas, our class schedule, all kinds of info here. We run a virtual membership. So for people who aren't local or are still concerned about COVID, we have this state-of-the-art camera system set up where you can join a class live from home and kind of watch our class live. And we'll give you, if we see you on there, we've got a mic so we can talk to you. We also do some Zoom training, and there's also some virtual programming that you can purchase and run through it on your own with the private videos that we have there. So a bunch of different tabs to kind of play
When you
with.
do Zoom, how do you get to stop delaying? It
Uh,
doesn't delay for you?
no, I mean, occasionally there are issues with all technology, but lately I haven't had any issues.
Fuck.
Maybe because I pay
tried
for
to
the
do
premium
Zoom on
account.
this. Whoa, what a nightmare.
Yeah. Do you
No.
have a premium account or the
Cancel
free
Comcast.
one?
No, I got the premium
Comcast
one.
sucks.
Yeah, me
I
too.
got, but it would be delayed.
Hmm.
It would be, you know, I guess the person on the other end has to have the right stuff. I
right
mean, for
internet
something
setup.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. Kettlebell, 6 a.m. Shit.
Yeah, that's my class.
You're really,
That's
you're
when
re-
he came to that one day.
Jeez, you're really pushing 6 a.m.
Yeah.
People ask for it.
I'll take
Before
the
work.
I'll take the 4 to 5 p.m. one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
You
changing
should,
that
you
to
should
5:30.
definitely do one of those though. I highly recommend it because you build strength up in weird areas. Like if I did it consistently, I could see how I could definitely build some strength up. Like I said, for me, it's just a schedule thing. But I mean, if I didn't have other physical things I was getting involved in, I could definitely see myself doing it more consistently.
Yeah.
A lot of core in kettlebells. A lot of sneaky cardio. It's really
what's
good
core?
for you. What's core?
Yeah.
Like your core,
Oh, your core, like
the core of your
yeah.
body.
Mhm.
Yeah, your abs and everything else.
Keep in mind, core does not mean you're going to get abs and not get rid of fat. You have
Yeah.
to still
Yeah.
get rid of the fucking fat first. You can't just do core and think because your abs are still a muscle. You're going
yeah.
to build your abs up, but you got to get rid of the fat to see them.
You know what?
Right, and washboard abs doesn't mean you have a strong core either.
Exactly.
I
You
haven't
just be
done
skinny.
I haven't done abs in 15 years. Pull-ups. Pull-ups is what got me.
Well,
abs
pull-ups are a
and
full
legs,
body
and
movement,
legs,
just like
as
a
much as I hate
push-up. If
fucking
you do it
legs.
right, it's a full body movement.
What happened
Yeah.
to this 8-pack? I thought you were going to show the cameras about this 8-pack you were talking about.
Nah, I'll wait till the right time.
Show your
You
fans.
know. Because then no. I'll show you.
No, I'm good. I
Not
don't need to see it.
not that you not that
I'll pass.
not that you couldn't fucking hit him and just take me down and rock me, but you know.
You can show
That's
Rob.
funny.
Rob could tell me how they were.
Fuck. Every time. Fuck this water. I'm done buying this water.
That's why you got the
Spill it?
whiskey.
Third fucking time.
This is Irish water.
Yeah, well, fuck that water. Who the fuck makes this? Don't ever buy Gemfilis or whatever else.
Zephyr Hill?
Zephyr Hills.
Fuck that shit. Fucking
Yeah.
cap sucks. I'm fucking soaked.
But yeah,
That's
so
great. Go back up there because there's a couple more. This motherfucker.
you can hear the accent come out when you say motherfucker.
Oh yeah, we've been through this. This is my Instagram, Sydney Jane Fitness. Check me out. Follow me. The Kaizen Instagram.
She
Lots
wants
of
to
cool
go to bed.
tidbits.
Don't
Lots of
worry,
cool
I just drenched
tidbits here.
myself with water, so it's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Again, this is the third time.
Here's
with
my
these fucking these caps don't
Facebook.
fucking work.
Is Ryan paying you to be here? You should make sure you get paid for this. Make sure you send him a bill for
Okay.
your hours.
No, I'm here for me. I'm not complaining. I'm having a blast.
I should
I
send a
just
bill-
know that
should
I
send
have
a
to
bill
get up
Ideal
at 5
Nutrition.
a.m.
Ugh.
Yeah, I got a 6:30 client.
See, I'm used
So
to
it's
operating
right.
with no sleep. What time is it?
It's right here.
Is it accurate? You ever like check your watch? And you're like, let me check my phone to see if this is actually
Yeah.
accurate.
No, I got this handmade clock, so it's 9:48
Oh,
right
that's
now.
cool.
Okay. I'm used to operating on like 4 hours
That
of
was
sleep.
more
so
complicated to get the time to work than you could ever fucking imagine.
That's actually a cool ass clock.
handmade. It's
That's dope.
So
You made that?
it's called a Nixie MK2,
Okay.
and it's got 50 perimeters and 4 buttons. So it can do like GPS and shit and all this crazy
That's
shit.
cool.
Yeah.
Really
How-
cool.
How is it even making the numbers?
Transistor or something, right?
Yeah, it's like some transistor shit. I don't know, some crazy thing. But it's handmade. So if you would come there, you can feel it and smell it. And it's
Okay.
like, I don't know, it's just different. Cool.
Gotcha.
Actually,
it looks dope.
Rogan has this, is why I bought it.
Okay.
Shh.
Full on copying Joe Rogan now with the watch, the clock, and the whiskey.
Well, I really like the clock though.
Well, you're the one on the whiskey.
Hey, it's not my fault. I'm the only one with chest hair.
Ah,
I actually don't have any
You
chest
don't
Thank
hair.
God I
chest
don't
hair?
have chest hair.
It's blonde, so you can't really see it. So
well, you gotta
it's not
live
that
with
thick, anyways.
No. All right. So, is there anything you want to promote before we spill more water on me and she falls asleep while we're sitting here and tries to beat me up?
Well, she should have drank the damn monster. I mean, you offered, but
Monster.
I mean, not really
No
anything.
way.
That's
So-
weird.
Not
There's
at
only
night.
120 milligrams of caffeine in that.
The moral of the story is be consistent. Find what works for you. Right? Everyone's got their thing. I have my thing. She has her thing. Ideal nutrition's a good middle ground for your diet if you want to just kind of talk about everything in one. But find what works for you. Experiment. Try new things. Figure out what makes you happy, what fits in your lifestyle. If you want to live a healthy lifestyle, if you want to lose weight, it's not going to be magic. But use Ideal Nutrition. If you don't have time to cook, if you have time to cook, great. Go cook for yourself. But ultimately, just live happy. Be positive. Like all these
And
people.
stop sitting so much.
Yeah, right. All these people walking around like they're fucking gonna live forever. It's like, dude, you're gonna die one day, and the only way you're gonna like change that is by trying to treat your body decent. I mean, you still want to have fun, but treat your body good, treat your career good.
And then if I want
Treat people
insurance,
good.
if I want insurance,
Mhm.
right, good insurance, how do I get a hold of you?
You text me or call me.
Do you want?
So-
Can I put your number in the description, or that's up
if
to
you
you?
want to.
You tell me.
You can put it in the description, or you can respond. Just have them DM you. I don't want to put it on here because I don't know where this is going to be.
Yeah.
You might blow up with a setup like this. If you're
Thank
the next
you.
Joe Rogan in
Appreciate
a
it.
year, and this, I mean,
I just like the setup. That's all.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like the fucking clock.
the studio looks good, man. I mean,
Thank
it looks
you, I
really good.
appreciate
If
it.
I'd have known there was a little gift set up, I might have brought you because those little pop things are pretty cool.
But
So-
before I let you go to bed, so I had this guy in here, right? I never even heard of Funko Pops.
Mhm.
Never heard of them. Rob, had you heard of him?
I just heard it because of my kids.
Post Malone.
Yeah, I didn't hear him. So he came in and he collects these fucking things,
Mhm.
and he goes to like Target, gets them for like $17.99, like the Tupac one. It sells out real quick, and then he goes on eBay and sells it for like 400.
Oh wow.
So when he came in, he brought me Lil Wayne, Post Malone, and Tupac. And the guy right there, we call him Rich the Fix. And I actually bought him in Miami at an art show. And he's one of my lawyers. And I swear to God, it looks exactly like him. He's got a cigar out to here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon with a bottle,
awesome.
with a glass of
I
whiskey.
think we need
like
to top
this.
him off.
Yeah, top him off. Believe me, he'll suck that down in 2 seconds.
It's awesome.
Anything you want to push, Sydney, and tell where to go to have you train them?
Yeah, check out Kaizen Fitness Systems in Jupiter.
How do you spell Kaizen?
Kaizen.
Okay.
Kaizen is a Japanese school of thought that means small little changes every day add up to a big positive change. So it really applies to what we do. We focus on the intricacies and we focus on the details for you, customizing for you. So we've got personal training, kettlebell training, yoga, animal flow, steel mace training, all kinds of cool stuff there. So check us out on the website or on social media. You can find me on social media, Sydnee Jane Fitness. Either way, just like what Ryan said, you know, we're just here to help people, make them feel better and be happy. So if you've got goals you want to achieve, hit either one of us up, whether it's insurance or supplements or fitness or nutrition.
Yeah, you both are great people.
It's
Not to be fucked with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's easy to be in business and to work when you feel like you're helping people.
Yeah.
So it makes it easy. I mean,
It
it
is.
doesn't matter because like I don't give a shit about insurance, but it's cool that I start to learn something and then I can help people. Same thing with her. Who the hell knows what a kettlebell were? I didn't know what the hell. I didn't even know there was a kettlebell gym. I didn't know there was a thing. I didn't even know actually. What did I tell you when you first invited me to the gym? I drove
He passes by every single day and never came in.
every single morning because for a while when I was getting ready for that jiu-jitsu tournament, I was going and I was working out at like 5, 6 a.m. at Palm Beach Sports Club to do cardio because I was way overweight. When I went into that, I had to make 170. I was like 200. So, and I wanted to lose fat. I didn't want to just cut water. So I drive past her gym every day. I lived down the street from her gym. Didn't know it was there until we connected through Ideal Nutrition. And it's a really cool gym. So there's always going to be something out there.
It's always networking. And what was the animal thing you said?
Animal flow. So it's kind of a
Then I promise you
combination.
can go to bed.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of a combination of yoga and capoeira. It's this really cool new way of working out where it's a flow. Everything has an animal name and it's very dynamic. There's a lot of core involved and a lot of coordination involved. It's something that you can look up. It's really hard to explain unless you see it. It's one of those you just have to see it and you got to try it. Super cool.
So when are we going to do yoga? When are we going?
I guess Saturday, like 2-3 weeks from now, when I'm not going to be hungover.
A week from
Wait.
Saturday. Let's
A
go,
week from
boys.
Saturday. Definitely not going on the 2nd.
Might be sick.
No, we don't have class
I
that
got
day anyway.
COVID. I have COVID. I can't.
Uh-huh.
I can make if I can make it.
We'll go in.
We'll go.
Fuck it.
We'll try it one day.
Now
Thank you so
guys
much
will be
for coming
great.
in, man.
Absolutely.
I
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having me.
It was great meeting you. You're a good dude, man.
Yeah, you
You're
too.
a loyal dude. I can see it.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Sydney. I
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Mhm.
Guys, both of you come back.
See, in a year or two from now, you're going to be like Joe Rogan level, and it'll be like our 5th appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be famous.
Yeah, look, I just have fun with it. Like I told you, you just
Super
hang out,
fun.
have fun.
Thank you so
Who
much for
cares?
having us. I
Yeah.
loved
Oh,
it.
thank you
Oh,
for
the
coming.
studio's beautiful. It's awesome. Very good setup.
I really appreciate
So,
it. Thank you,
thank you.
guys.